what time it is, buddy?
Fever time.
Yeah, man!
Fire.
Everything that you carry, any luggage you take, all the ghosts you keep in hiding, they don't scare me away. No, 'cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. It's a past that keeps on calling, or if fear keeps you awake. I won't let a scar keep me from your lips. I catch every tear from your face. 'Cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you.
What do you mean, make the RV safe?
What?
Safe from what?
Jim, there are things you need to understand about what happens next. They're coming.
You said this place couldn't break you. That's what you said. Let's see.
You're so strong. You're so strong. Just no. I know.
The problem is there's too much we don't know. It's like opening a book and starting from the middle, or trying to imagine what a jigsaw puzzle looks like when all you have is a few random pieces, right? And not even the helpful ones like corners or edges, just vague. Fucking. The trick is you find two pieces that connect. Then at least you have a place to start.
And welcome everybody to the Fever Hour. Happy Friday the 13th to you all. And what a better Friday the 13th than to talk some From, and also to wish our awesome friend, the best mod, the best person in the chat. She's always there for everybody. Gonna give you the links. She's there, trust me. Kiwi, happy birthday, hun.
Happy birthday.
You all know her. You all love her.
Yes, she is the bestest ever.
But yes, welcome to you one and all. It is a happy Friday, and we are ready to put our tinfoil hats back on, Dana. And go down some rabbit holes.
I
See
know.
where the
I'm
road
ready.
takes us.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
And before we go down the rabbit hole, let's see who's going to go with us tonight. Who we got in the chat. Welcome, and I'm sorry if I do mispronounce the name. You guys know I'm terrible with vowels. Dieter? I don't know if I said it right, but welcome. Welcome, welcome. And of course, the awesome Kiwi skirt. And I see Taryn dropped by. Glad to see you. And yes, I understand you are quite a ways away from us, so the time difference, I definitely understand. But thank you for coming by and saying hey. Love the support. And welcome, Queen Emma. Hail to you. Hope you got your 10 full hats on. Hope you're ready to go down the rabbit hole. And hope you're having an awesome Friday the 13th. And I see Bitey, of course. Bitey is in the chat as always. Our awesome friend Bitey. Hope you're having an awesome day as well.
Hello, Bitey. Hello.
And yes, welcome Terry and family that is at Dana's.
Yes. You're gonna hear some conversations. I'll try to mute myself in and out as best as I can. But yes, my uncle is visiting from North Carolina, so everybody's talking.
No worries. Just welcome the family. It's Friday night. It's Fromvile night. And welcome, Anna. Glad to have you hanging with us. I see Golden Child. Welcome, welcome. See who else. I see Vic. What is up? Glad to see you hanging with us tonight as well. And that looks like everybody. Welcome again, everybody. And we're going to just really dive into it. I mean, going back through Dana just to get the screenshots, because I went back through season 1, season 2, and I try to get screenshots of all of the trailers except for the one I guess that dropped yesterday or so. But we can check that one out as well. I think it was on Twitter.
Yes. Is that the one that you sent me today?
Yeah, I think I've seen it on Twitter. It was also dropped by, I forget who. I'm going to have to go back and see. They dropped it in Jeremy's Discord as well. So guys, after the stream, go check out Jeremy Ice and Fire 33. He will be streaming after us to continue the Fromville sort of Friday night fun.
Yes. Get to go from us to him and just keep the From conversation going, because we could talk about this for hours.
Mm-hmm. And welcome, and I'm so sorry if I say names wrong. I'm sorry. The Hallie Nickerson?
The Hale Nickerson.
Is it Hale? Okay, because I didn't know because the I and the L. I just want to make sure.
It's okay. And I just wanted to give a shout out. I met some really interesting and fun people in some of the Facebook groups today that are just so nice, so amazing. And I'm going to put their link up in Scarlett's Discord for anybody who wants to join their communities. Because, man, you think we dive deep in Jeremy's Discord. These guys, I was lost today reading all their stuff. And I have a few interesting little tidbits that I'm going to read. They were so friggin' cool. But
nice.
Yeah, join Facebook, the groups too. They're really, really good.
Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be fun to go. Lots of stuff out there, guys. And just with all the stuff they've been doing for season 3, what they've released like kind of 3 different trailers now at least. I know there's some shots of some of the episodes are out there. They've put some, I don't know how truthful their episode summaries are, but there's at least something out there that sounds somewhat. We got titles. There's a lot of stuff out there to kind of, I mean, with what, a little over a week or something like that till it on the 22nd.
Yeah, we're
like right around the corner.
10 days or something like that.
And there's just so much to remember, right? Because there's so much in From that just, it makes you question. It makes you question everything. And then the biggest question is how much of it is the writers and the producers and the people who do the sets, like they just decided to change something just because like it had no meaning. And it just threw us all off. Like we went down 20 hours over colored stock and it had no meaning. Because somebody, costume lost the sock, and they were like, "Well, just here, it'll be okay. It won't matter." And then we're like looking at it.
Like, what does that mean? They didn't put that in there for no reason.
I know, right? And I'm one of those people. I'm like,
mean?
nah, there's no way, nah. Like they
Damn,
know
the
we're
blue
watching.
sock.
There's no way, no. That piece of paper, and I'm big on. Matter of fact, I was going to go over this, but there was stuff like even in season 1 or season 2, kind of that cross between season 1 and season 2 when I'm gonna bring up these other screenshots where after the Colony House massacre and we see Victor leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
He essentially took down everything in his room. Why are there pictures up like the next day and he's not even back home yet? I'm trying to get those real quick. That just like blew my mind. I'm like, where did that come from?
I know, but that whatever you sent me today, I was literally sitting there and I showed my mom, Patty, and Terry while we were eating dinner, and we were all just like staring at it because we were,
there was a lot. I haven't even absorbed that yet.
I was just like, and my mom did a couple of the,
mm-hmm. And welcome, Star.
What was that?
Glad you're hanging out with us as well, Star. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get just to this point because there was so much they give us in the first couple seasons, right? And what does it all mean? And I got a couple theories. I got a few. I don't even know how like true. Like I think I'm like going to put a whole bunch into them, but just some observations, some curious data. Like Alice,
your brain works like way crazier than mine because you've got some theories that I never even would have touched when it comes to certain stuff. My brain is really like locked in on like the Lost kind of from like way of thinking, but man, you go. I love some of your stuff.
Yes, Kiwi. What does it all mean? I know, but it's so the question, and it's what Jade said, right? Like, we get all the pieces, but it's like we don't get the middle of the story. We don't get the edges, corners. No. We just need to find the two pieces that fit. We just got to find a connection.
We don't get any of the pieces that matter. We get all the pieces that are just like the shade of black that could mean anything with no detail, no anything. And we're just looking at them like, what does it mean?
And welcome, Lee Bradley. Welcome. We are just starting to dive into it. And guys, I'm trying to connect. Okay, when I went back through this data, not only is there just weird stuff like on the sets, like I said, you get not paintings, but Victor's drawings that just appear back on the wall. And it was like a picture of the family, and there was a picture of some candy. It just kind of mysteriously pops on the wall. Now, I don't know. They could have just did that because they wanted to have some images on there for us to see. I thought it was the monsters going in there and playing around and like redecorating the room.
They might have some keen fashion sense.
I know, right? I mean, or the boy in white, he felt bad. He wanted to go in there and fix it up. But then I wonder about all this stuff with the cicadas and the symbol. And let's see, I got to get all the way down to the end for sure. But the way that like the symbol is with the tree roots, where is it with Jade? I know I had it.
When Jade is down in the tunnels? Okay.
I'm just curious because when you look at, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find that one when he's down in the tunnels. There we are. Here he is. All right, so we got Jade, right? He's stumbling through, and he sees this, and of course everybody knows. Okay, it's tree roots. They're like a particular color, right? They're not just. They don't look like just normal tree roots.
Okay.
And I think I was trying to see if I could see it in this one. I don't think it's in this one. I think it's when Tabitha comes down. You can see it. And I'm going to try to put these in videos so I can kind of explain this theory a little bit better. But you start looking at all these veins, right? And then you start looking at the kids. So we have these weird roots, almost reddish colored like veins. And you have the veins in the kids.
Okay.
They have these particular let's see if I can get another close up. Okay, this one you don't see it, but you can see the veins a little bit more, and then This one has this weird yellow growth on it. I don't know, and they have abrasions on them, but they're not abrasions just like burns. Do you remember how Kenny had a burn on his arm from the cicada?
Yes.
Like it was feeding off of him or something, because it looked like a burn, but I believe Martin had similar abrasions. Now, of course, over time they would look worse.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So I'm trying to see how the cicadas, if they're making the monsters through this ritual, and if Martin was a part of it, because as you start comparing the kids, the monsters, Martin, and then we have the fact that the cicadas put almost this weird red mark. It looks like a burn, but everybody said the kids had burns, right? They're like, it's like these weird burns. The cicada did that to Kenny. The cicadas were in Martin. I don't know. There's a train I'm trying to get on with that.
So you think the cicadas could also possibly be in the kids or something to that extent of like with the worms?
I'm trying to figure out if the cicadas and the tree roots are one and the same like force, or if they're like a separate force. So typically cicadas, they would drain off of the roots of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we found left in the body of the monsters was that orange bile. I mean, yellow. That yellow color is usually, like in some cultures, it's a death color. Like it just symbolizes that kind of weird yellowish hue.
Yes.
So the fact this kid almost has this, I don't know if that's bile on him or if that's tree moss growing on him. But there was this weird yellow, like when you watch it, if you pay attention to them as they're going around, some of them have this weird yellowing around them. And I don't know what that is. Is it a growth? And I was like, well, what if they have like it's the bile is like the only thing left because they've sucked everything out of it, right? Like the cicadas sucked the body dry. That was all that was left. And if this is like the starting process of it.
Oh, interesting. And now that they're being drained, that's kind of all we have left behind is the bile.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if the bile really has any meaning other than just like the last thing that was left in the body. Because
I do think it has some other meaning. I don't think it was a throwaway. I think that Boyd just was using it wrong. That it might not have any effect on the creatures per se in the way he was using it. But I don't think they would give us something like that just to forget about it. That's not how these writers and these producers work. They're not just they might not answer it right away, but nothing, like they don't do just random throwaways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, I have a feeling the bile is going to come back. It just, Boyd used it wrong. Or it didn't work in the situation he was trying to attempt to use it in.
So let me see if I can do this right, because I'm supposed to be able to click some things here and do this right. I want to keep this child here, and I want to click tree roots. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome everybody. And Purple Alizé, welcome to the party. I'm just going to try to find the monsters and stuff and get them where I can see this a little bit better. Let's see. I'll do that one.
Oh, that's interesting, Kiwi. Kiwi says someone mentioned how the roots could symbolize the road with a tree across it. Interesting.
Well, it's just weird how the tree roots and our boy here, we see the cicadas in him. Let me go back to just him. And it's just weird because even like when she ripped him open, he wasn't just dried out. The sides were weird. He still had veins and he still like reacted. He was almost like he was still alive, but he was like, and then on top of it, I don't think the first cicadas attack happened until after they burned the body. The final release of like this thing. 'Cause we're thinking like, okay, well the cicadas themselves are the release. But when we started I started rewatching through, there's a lot of stuff that happens, particularly in season 2. After the music box is quote unquote released, or Boyd goes through that process, where we really get to see how these things, like Father Kotri, there's a moment where Father Kotri and Boyd are down upstairs-ish in the clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny walks in. Kenny walks in frame. We can see Kenny, Boyd, and Father Cautry. They do the same thing with the ballerina. So, and they're interacting with the world around them, but they're not. So it's weird how they're showing these things, particularly when this like music box pops up and reality sort of starts getting really messed up, and how it kind of powers its way through. And I don't know if it was to make the monsters or to actually release something greater. Like, I think the baby is not tied to the music box. The baby might be tied to whatever this greater entity is. And this was just a nice little fun treat to play with, sort of like, in the game of things. And
What
it
the
might explain how the monsters, like, I just started thinking about it, so I have to connect it a little bit more. I want to do a video on it and
Okay.
just really go through, especially I got to find Martin as well. I messed it up. Hang on, let me get back. Let me re-find my photos. But there's just something about the way Martin's abrasions, the kids' abrasions, and then the fact they all have these weird veins. Even the girl that we see with Elgin in the bathtub, that creepy monster, when her hand goes down, she has those bluish veins in her. They all have that same element. And the veins to me are like tree roots. And these tree roots seem to go down into the caves, just like the power lines. The power lines that have no power to them, that have no cables, they have no cords in them. They are just plastic. But the tree roots go down there, and they're feeding where the kids are being held in the cages, or what once was. And this world, even if it's a nightmare realm, which I think it hinders something like that, or just an interesting realm nonetheless, because we have sort of this, when Boyd goes in and he's going to these different places, it's almost as if that stuff is not, it's not so much time travel. And I'm trying to think of how to remember how I thought about it when I was going through. But there's this dimension, there's our sort of like reality, and
Mm-hmm.
anything above and below that can cross. And at that moment of crossing, I would say it's the tree. And then when Boyd went into or when they go into this realm, whatever it is, it has a high psychic echo to it.
Okay.
Because of the fact that everybody is able to, all right, we see the purple eye in the picture with the little worms in it. It's like the drawing.
Yes.
We see how he goes into the dungeon, but then it's kind of not there. It's there. It's only there, almost like an echo, because it doesn't just go away. If you look, I'm trying to get all these screenshots too. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
It's okay. Well, the Hale Nickerson says, I'm thinking the cicada story is over. It will be something new. That would be interesting to see something new, but I would love to see a little more on the cicadas, just because they were so prevalent in season 2. And the fact that though they didn't turn into cicadas within Martin transferred them to Boyd. And then by Boyd transferring them to the monsters, is that when they got what they needed to become the cicadas? Like, they needed to be in a monster in order to break out and play their part in whatever way they were playing their part.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the cicadas that attacked the 3 to put them in the trance-like state that caused Boyd to do what he did with the music box.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that ended everything. That he thought by destroying the music box, it stopped whatever was going on. So I don't know. I would hope that they would give us a little more on the cicadas, but I also do want something new. So I'm in the middle of that one.
Definitely think there could be something new. I just think the cicadas are part of the way the monsters might have been formed. I'm trying to get Martin. I had a picture of Martin, particularly his hands. He's got like those long fingernails, and I believe the children have those as well. These long sort of yellowish fingernails that the monsters also have. I just got to get those screenshots together properly. But you know what, Dana? You take it away for a minute. I'm going to get those together.
Sure. So let's see what's going on in the chat. I know we had Doc Hayes pump in. I saw my cousin Terry, who tonight she is here. So she is not at her own home tonight. She is here tonight. So she is saying hi to everybody standing next to me like she typically does. You can say hello if you'd like.
Hey.
That is my cousin. And let's see, we had Doc Hayes pop in. We had Purple Alizé pop in. We had Chocolate Beauty. Hello. Thank you so much for coming and enjoying this Fromvile Friday stream with me and Scarlett. We are so excited that we finally get to talk about From. So we are, we're diving in, people. So just get ready. Get ready. We don't have like a specific stream tonight. We're just kind of talking about just some of our theories, our thoughts. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys think, where you guys think season 3 is going. And we're just going to talk with you guys and just have some fun tonight. So I hope everybody is just ready. Oh, I see. It's the Dew. Hello. That's another part of my awesome family. And oh, hello, Miss Julie. What's up?
Welcome, guys.
Yes, welcome everybody who popped in. Welcome everybody who's showing some support. We come from an awesome community, and we really appreciate all you guys showing up for us and just talking From with us tonight. And I know I saw a star pop in. Sorry if we missed you. I think we didn't. I don't even know. I'm so excited. My brain's not working.
I know, guys. Welcome. It's Friday the 13th, too. So you know it's extra creepy.
And who else but Kiwi gets to friggin' celebrate her birthday 2 days in a row? Because it's the 13th for us. Just because it's not the 13th for her, it's still the 13th for us. So she gets to fucking time travel and have some more birthday fun.
Mm-hmm. Of course. That's only fair, Dana.
I know. We just got to work on those lotto numbers, Kiwi. We got to work on those lotto numbers. So those are the fingers that you're talking about, and
this is on the monsters, and then
right?
that's on Smiley. Did I not get a picture of Martin? There's no way I did not save a picture of Martin. Oh, you know what? I probably got a video of it. It didn't save. No, it's okay. I'll figure it out for another stream. You want to do your lost while I figure out where my image went?
Sure. So everybody kind of knows me now that I really I was a very big Lost fan. Lost was one of my favorite TV shows, and it was very interesting to me. And my brain, when it comes to From, has kind of gone the parallel route of Lost to From. And it's interesting talking it with Scarlett, because Scarlett goes from to Lost. So she watched From first and then watched Lost, to where I watched Lost first and then watched From. So she sees it through the eyes of the comparison from to Lost, and I vice versa. So there's a really big scene in Lost where there's a character by the name of Eloise, and she has the characters who basically got off the island, and they are trying to get back. And she makes a pretty interesting statement. And I have the clip, and I'm going to pull it up. Just bear with me. Let me share my screen. Present. Share screen. Here we go. Share. Can you see it, Scarlett?
You sure can.
Okay, here we go.
The room we're standing in was constructed years ago over a unique pocket of electromagnetic energy. That energy connects to similar pockets all over the world. The people who built this room, however, were only interested in one, the island. Yes, the island. They'd gathered proof that it existed. They knew it was out there somewhere, but they just couldn't find it. Then a very clever fellow built this pendulum on the theoretical notion that they should stop looking for where the island was supposed to be and start looking for where it was going to be.
What do you mean, where it was going to be?
Well, this fellow presumed, and correctly as it turned out, that the island was always moving.
You peeped that, right? She said the island was always moving. And we know for a fact that Victor says the trees move. So why couldn't From also move in certain places and do things similar to the island? Especially when she made the statement that the island isn't the only place that exists in this world, like the island. So I very much think that From could be another one of these pocket places that exist within the world.
Why do you think you were never rescued?
So I just always found that very, very interesting. What about you, Scarlett?
Oh yeah, I mean definitely after she talks about that particular island, but then there's multiple other islands. Who knows what they could do? Like one island was particular, like I believe Lost was like the greater one, sort of, but there's no telling what other kind of mystery places were out there.
Right, and we see a lighthouse, so we know that there's something to do with water. Elgin immediately goes to ask Fatima, are there any bodies of water? So what's to say that From is not an island too of some sort? We're thinking it's like a place that is stationary, but what if it's not stationary? What if it moves like how we see the island move, making it difficult to be able to find it? Certain specific ways to only get there. There's only a few ways in and out, and you need special ways and means to do so. Hence why the boy in white was able to throw Tabitha out and push her into the real world. Like he activated a doorway of some kind. So I very much think that From and the island exist in the same kind of universe.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Foil theory.
I could definitely see it with a lot of the similarities they have with the cross of the shows, particularly how the shows play out more so than like characters are one-off, the same, but just the way that Lost played and the way they're playing From, and then kind of that Eloise, like, right? Like, oh, then they give you a little bit of history with it, how things get there. Like you have to do it a certain way in order to get to this place. And then of course there's more than one party at play. And there's sort of this interesting version of light and dark at play.
We know an entity in the island is able to bring or take the form of people who died. That is what the Man in Black very much did. He took the form of people who died and used it to manipulate the people on the island. Now we see that whatever entity is in From is also doing the same thing. So what if it's just, I'm not saying it's exactly the premise of Lost, but we know that the island was where creation kind of started. That was their thing. The light of the island is the soul. It's the light inside of everybody. Well, what if From is the darkness? Because with light comes darkness. You need both to balance each other out. So to where the island held the light, what if From holds the dark? And you're seeing this kind of same type of battle from whatever's in From as we did with Jacob and the Man in Black.
Yep.
Now, whether that's the boy in white, I don't know. I don't know if the boy in white is directly what we could call the Jacob figure in From. But
but it's got kind of that, I mean, it makes you wonder, right? Like where the boy in white is sort of end, like, is he good or bad? Because Jacob at the end sort of had that, do the ends justify the means?
Correct. Was Jacob good? No. Was he bad? No. But he knew that what he was protecting with it came, if the light in the island got snuffed out, the world ended.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just seeing this correlation that there's just so many parallels from Lost to From that they can't be ignored. They just can't. Like, I know everybody's got these broader theories of like what they think that it could possibly be. And again, we know nothing. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. We could all be a little right. Nobody has any answers now. But the mindset of the people who made Lost have brought us From. They're not going to change that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've seen the encyclopedia. You've seen my Lost encyclopedia. It's insane what they put into that show. And I very much think they're doing the same thing here in From. So everything is going to matter in a sense. Even the things that we think don't matter, that we're not paying very much attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how my brain is working.
And there's so many little things that, like I said, you got to find the connection, right? They give you a lot of pieces. Where is the connection? And I'm just trying to find a good one of the kids where you can see their hands. And I want to say it's when Tabitha gets
That's another
bombarded.
thing with Lost. Kids on the island had a stronger connection to the island. Now we see these children in From that have some connection that we're not sure of yet to the darkness that is within From. That's why I very much think it's the opposite side of the coin. The island was light, From is darkness, but they're both these areas that correlate with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what I'm seeing when I watch From.
We got some comments. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat as well. Dana's killing it. Trust me, guys, she has got the encyclopedia of Lost.
I know. I made Kiwi bought one. After she saw my encyclopedia, she ran out and bought it. And I know she's a big fan of it like I am. And I know she's seen a lot that like I've seen from just watching the show.
I'm gonna find a better one.
Endless. Like there's so many. There's just so many like parallels that I don't even know where to begin sometimes.
Find these children's hands. Telling you, if you look at these kids' hands, okay. So, all right, you can tell our monsters have some interesting yellow fingernails. Mm-hmm. Those are pretty clear. All right. Martin, we know he had some hella nails when he used them to cut him deep, cut Boyd pretty deep with his fingernails. And he had these blue veins too. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But these kids, they got fingernails. I don't know if we've ever seen it before, but look, they yellow. What is up with the yellow around the teeth and the nails of these children?
Ew, I never noticed that before.
They got fingernails. I ain't talking no little bitty nails. I'm talking like monster nails.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they're kind of like the monsters, right? Like, not to mention the kids are sort of, we see them in the caves as these like creepy goblin looking creatures. And then even when Jade sees them, like I said, we saw the one kid have this sort of like yellow pus or bile or like, I don't know what it was.
Oh.
It was like on his face, on his like under his neck. And it's just weird. Like that color yellow again, right? What is it with that yellow? And I know when I look through some stuff trying to figure out like anything that would connect this place. Because I mean, they just got all these creepy little veins on them. And then it's like their skin is cracking. Like their form is cracking.
It's almost like they're decaying in a sense.
Like, yeah, that death is set in. It's weird.
It is.
I don't know. Like, there's just something about these kids. I don't put them, not to say that I'm sure there wasn't something about them. Oh, and look, this one has these 3 little holes, almost thought it was the bites from the spiders, like Boyd had.
Oh. See, your eyes can see things that I can't. I would have never have noticed that.
And the Grumbledore says, the monsters seem to behave like kids, don't you think? Remember Smiley in the bus and then always wanting to play? Maybe it's the spirits of the dead skulls and the monsters are shells. Yeah, that they definitely could be. I mean, the way these kids are shown in the caves where the monsters are, we didn't find them at the lighthouse the way, Tabitha was carrying on about. No, we found them in the caves, and they were not exactly even this version of them was a little bit nicer than the version in the caves. I mean, this was just creepy.
Yeah.
And the way they were losing their
that child
hair.
looks like more, what's the word I'm looking for? When feral.
Mm-hmm.
Than the kids that were actually surrounding Tabitha. Like they looked like they still had some bits of them consciousness left within them, but that child in that cage looked more feral, like more animalistic than the children that were grabbing at Tabitha saying on cooey. Like, what if this is like the final form that they go before losing all of whatever they were?
Mm-hmm.
Hence why somebody had them in a cage.
And Bitey, I wonder, did they kill Smiley, or was he allowing the process to take hold in some manner or something? Because I don't know if they actually killed him until they set him on fire. Because he does that weird, like, where was it? She cuts him. Wait, it's the wrong one. Get back to the screenshots. Okay, let's see where they get Smiley. They open him up.
Yeah, but I very much think that since the island was the embodiment of light, I so think that From is the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe now this is putting my tinfoil hat on a little bit, so just bear with me. What if the events that happened on the island have something to do when what we know in the finale with the whole fight between Jack and Locke / the smoke monster had some effect? The world started that process of, ending almost. What if that also rippled to From?
Mm-hmm.
And now this is working in the theory that they are in the same universe. We do have some connection. So if something happened on the island that could possibly have affected From, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like literally just where my mind goes.
Oh yeah. But I wondered about this because, like, I didn't know if even, like, I contemplated whether the cicadas were put in, like, okay, if there's different parties at play, and let's just say you got the boy in white, you got the music box, you got the entity, and then multiple other things in between that they haven't discovered yet. If none of these things are all, like, sort of on the same team, there's just, like I said, if this is just some weird realm where echoes of past things are sort of collected.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because where Martin was just so weird. It made no sense. And the fact that he like sprung up when she cut on him, right? Like, Smiley sprung up on her, and then he was kind of like, okay, I'm chill again. Do we just trust that he was dead? I mean, I know he did a little, like, oh my God, the cicada's in me, rah! But he did, like, the same thing that Julie and them did. Like, they kind of, like, went up in him, and they kind of did, like, the same facial expressions and stuff.
So you think he allowed them to cut him open to release the cicadas?
Oh, no, I think the cicadas stopped him from attacking her.
Because they wanted to be released?
Because they wanted him to, yeah, I think it was through the fire.
Interesting.
I don't know if he was quite dead. because his veins, like, okay, the insides of him were like sucked dry, similar to how a cicada would like a tree.
Mm-hmm.
They would take that, suck in that tree sap. It's almost as if like his insides to me kind of look like, I don't know, almost look like a dried up tree or something. It was weird. And then but the veins on the outside of his skin are still prominent. They're still like blue. And I don't know. It's supernatural world, Dana. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I know that's the thing. Like, even if we talk about what we do know, what we do know still brings more questions. So
I know. Exactly.
It doesn't matter what we know because it's still not answering anything. So, and I loved how in that promo trailer that you sent me, they were saying we're going to get answers, but then Tabitha says, but we're also going to get more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a lost like thing. That's what they did. They would give you these little tidbits of answers until they really started revealing stuff. But with those answers came 10 more questions. So it was never that we just fully got an answer until the very final season. The final season is when they really started giving us those, okay, this is what's going on. So I'm wondering if From is going to be the same way. They're going to give us little answers for stuff. But when it comes to the big stuff, I think we're all going to have to wait till the final season.
Now this chick here, she don't have quite the fingernails, but she got the blue veins. I swear to God, she got the blue veins, Dana. I don't know what it is with these blue veins on all these creepy motherfuckers. It's about the blue veins.
It could
barely
be
see
that
it.
they all come from the same source.
That's what I'm thinking. I just don't know, like, if the cicadas are part of that, or if, like, they're two separate things. So, like, the cicadas draining them, and then the blue veins are them, like the trees. And maybe they didn't want the cicadas to be released. Like, the forest didn't want the cicadas to get out. Like, maybe the forest and the boy in white are on the same team. I know it's trippy. Look, there's too many parties at play here. It gets real complicated. They put too many pieces on board.
Yes.
I'm trying to fit them together. I'm trying to find the connection. No, it is hard. But let's see what you guys are saying.
Says, not all the monsters are completely mummified. They are in a sense.
Well, we don't know that for a fact.
Meaning that their skin kind of looks that dehydrated, sucked in, sort of. Think of like
on the inside, like the inside, he was fully like sucked dry, and the skin on the outside, you can still see the veins. The other monsters, I wouldn't say their insides may look like that because they're pumping with the psychic energy of this forest. Because the roots, I think, because that power, they were able to send a power surge through the electronics, and not just the ones that are plugged in. When Abby appears in the RV, she makes those little lanterns. I'm assuming that they were battery operated. She makes all the electronics flicker. That's super psychic energy going off, whether it's ghost, whatever. It's kind of in that realm in my head. I kind of go to that psychic energy.
Yeah. But also, like Eloise said in Lost, the pockets of electromagnetic energy. That could also be where they're able to pull a source. That's why the wires can go down into the ground and not have like a plug-in that they can just draw that energy.
Yeah, because there's no there's not even just on a plug. There's no wires. There's no cords, and it's just the outside coating.
Yeah.
The only wires they could find were from stuff that was brought into the world. So it lets you know the difference between things of that world and things brought in from people who were trapped there.
Oh, that's a good... I like what Star just said.
Which one? When I got up?
When you have up, yeah.
Okay, yes. Darkness, you think you have won. What is light without dark? What are you without me? I am a part of you all. You can never defeat me. We are brothers eternal.
Yeah, like because it's the balance. With light comes dark, with dark comes light. And what if these two places? I'm not saying that that there's two brothers entities. I'm saying what if the island and From are the siblings? the places themselves, because we know that they're alive. We know Fromville's alive just as much as the island was alive. So what if the two places are what are related and not just the monsters or creatures, protectors, or whatever is in these two places? That's where my brain is starting to go. Like, because these places are alive. No, the places are alive, not just the monsters within them.
Yes. Martin was himself, and this Purple Alize says, Martin was himself until he was possessed. He wanted to die, but when the music stopped, he changed. And yeah, I definitely think he was, I don't know, it was something about like the cicadas that was weird. And then I don't know if they had anything to do with these people turning into the monsters, if it had anything to do with the monsters per se, but it was just weird that when like the cicadas popped up, then they started showing certain things. And of course, when they went down in the cave, they kind of revealed some stuff there. But it's just, I don't know, man. I can't place Martin, and I swear he's got these weird red circle abrasions all over his body and cuts, similar to the kids. They both have these long fingernails that are, and I'm gonna put the pictures up in Discord to make sure on our next stream I get some better ones. I just want to make sure I got as many screenshots as possible, and I didn't do a very good job of organizing, but the kids and Martin both have the long fingernails. They have sort of like the balding. They both have this just weird, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, no, I definitely see the connection that you're trying to build. They're all just I
don't know where I'm going with it, guys. I'm just saying I just observe these things. I don't know what it means though. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Like Jack Skeleton over here. I got my chemistry set out. I'm trying to figure it out.
No, it's very interesting. Just like how I was watching some stuff I was watching some Lost videos just because I still love watching these Lost videos. And somebody brought up, they were trying to explain Locke's compass and how Locke's compass went through this time loop of sorts. And I know that there's some theories out there that we're going to see some time travel in From. And I was like, that's screaming to me Tabitha's bracelet. I very much think that Tabitha's bracelet is going to be like Locke's compass, because Locke's compass had to go through all these different hands and parallels in this giant circle before it finally got back to where it began. And I think we're going to see the same thing with Tabitha's bracelet. I think we're going to see how it makes its way in this circle and how it gets back to whether it be in the hands of, I think the moment that is the starting point is when she finds the bracelet in the stockroom. I think that is the start of the loop. So now we're going to see we know that she gave it back to Jim. So Jim has it on him. So something is going to have to happen from Jim to get it all the way back to Victor's mom. Then back to the starting points where the laces are on Jim's father's boots. So we're going to see the bracelet make this time loop in of itself, just like Locke's compass.
It's possible.
Because if you remember, Locke gave Richard the compass. He said, this is how you'll prove to me that I'm supposed to be here. Come find me when I'm born. That's why he went and showed Locke it as one of the items when he was doing the test for when Locke was young. And we literally watched the compass go all the way around till it got back into the hands of Locke. And I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see it make this transition to how it started with either Jim's father's boots, or how it got all the way back around to the storage in From.
I'm trying to get to that storage room. I think I went too far up. I think I did. Yep. Let's back a little bit more. Too far. Too many screenshots. Let's see what you guys are saying as well. And welcome, Robert.
Hi, Robert. You beautiful brain, you. Yep, same source, dark.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yep, same source, darkness. Father, protect me. Light and darkness are brothers. Yep.
There's so much that they kind of have given us with the symbols, of course, having the blood attached to it, but then seeing that, like, it's tree roots. So is it like the blood of the forest? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it.
Think of what trees symbolize. Trees symbolize so much.
Oh, yeah.
They symbolize life. They symbolize strength. They symbolize, because without trees, you can't support life. So the roots of the trees, I think, are almost basically the island's, the Fromville source, like the light was the source on the island. I think the trees here represent what the light did on the island.
That sort of mix of both, that dark and light, as we see on the talismans, the night and day kind of aspect.
Yes, exactly. The yin and yang, the balance of life itself.
Yeah, the inside of the monsters definitely kind of appear to be like a tree, like roots inside of it, especially when you like look at it at the right shot with the cave where Jade looks up at it. Yeah, it looks like the same kind of. It's just weird. Wait, what did Kiwi agree with me?
What?
On what? What did you agree with me with? Oh God, I got one, Dana. You know which part though? Was it the fact that I have no idea what I'm talking about? I'll take what I can get, Dana.
You got to give yourself credit. You know a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Because in those first days of the Discord, you were really putting up those like real theories of stuff. Like I remember your Wendigo theory. I remember all of it. So you got to give yourself more credit.
No, it's just I never know where I'm going with it. I'll see something and I'm like, ooh, I see where this goes, and then I'm like, dang it, where'd my rabbit go? Gotta wait. I forget where I was going. Dang it, gotta backtrack. But no, just the show and the fact that it shows this weird sense of like nostalgia too, right? Because we get the diner, we get just, oh my God, everything in this thing. The music boxes, just the town itself, just seemingly from a different time, right? Like it seems as if it's trying to pull at you in some way. But is it to make people feel safe? Is it like, because some of this stuff seemed like it was purposely put here, but then there's things that are just completely don't make sense. Like some things you would think are pulled right out of like the world somewhere, but then this high school, elementary high school, what the fuck is up with that? Like it's sort of kind of what we would think of when you're trying to remember something, right? When you're trying to think back to something, not quite right. A memory of sorts. An echo.
Fromville is somewhat manifesting these things for the people they draw in to feel that kind of sick normalcy. Like here's a little reminder of like kind of like your life, like what you would see in your real world. So because with comfort comes you might be caught off guard. Easier way for the monsters to then find a way in. Once you're comfortable, you tend to get sloppy. And when you get sloppy, that's when bad things can happen. So
because it's definitely interesting how they make sure to show what certain generation for sure would think of when they think of things that are nostalgic. And I looked up the word and typically, I think it's broken down in like 2 parts, and like the first part is kind of like, this longing to want to go home, or kind of like this homecoming, and then the kind of last part is like this pain that can come with that, of remembering things, but then there's a downside to it, right? Like there's almost this hope that you get from remembering things as joy, but then there's this sort of pain that comes with it. So I wondered if they were, when we talk about what they're feeding off of, if that's the way like they're trying to show certain things in the world, is to either pull people to sort of, because they're already wanting to go home. Like I don't think the world looking sadder is going to change that. But that looking this way is almost like it's I don't know. Is it really making them feel like they're at home? Because that's, which way are they going with it? Is it to make people like Donna and then want to stay, or is it to make them kind of remember about home? Because then they're like, every time they turn around, like, oh yes, the song pops on that reminds me of something from when we were, a memory we had, right? It's all these like sort of things that are triggering for memories. Even Victor with his drawings, they're all these sort of pictures of a time in order for him to help him remember something, so he doesn't forget things. Like things here are just forgotten people, places, objects, things of the past. Like when we go look up things like that soda company, was that soda company even a real thing, or did they just make it up, or was it like supposedly like something that was forgotten in the past? I don't know. A lot of questions on that. Where I'm going with it, nowhere.
Yeah.
Just curious. Like the Mad Hatter here, just curious.
You never know.
See what else you guys are saying.
I know the chat is killing it. I can't even like keep up with them tonight.
I know. Y'all talking about the 12 Monkeys? It was a TV show?
No, it was a movie.
It was a movie?
Or was it also a TV show? I know.
I don't know. I'm reading the chat data. They were talking about it. I don't know what it is. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like,
I know there was a movie called 12 Monkeys.
Yes, the Grumbledore says 12 Monkeys a series. If you caught that one, it's a loop. So I'm
thinking, it was also a series? Interesting.
Yes, the Kiwi confirms.
We got confirmation.
Yes, Sophia says it was great.
I remember the movie. I don't think I've seen the show.
I don't know if I've seen either. That's bad.
Oh, have a good night.
Yes,
Thank you for coming and hanging with us and talking from.
Yes, Purple say them trees is up to something.
Yes.
They're not kosher. They're not normal. They're all dead looking. The ones that are like the faraway trees and by the way, we see one bottle tree, right? It has no opening. And then even the picture that Victor hands to Tabitha, I believe it doesn't have a picture of like an opening to go through it, but yet the opening is there. But the other trees, they put the opening on it. So it just made me wonder, was like just something they did? I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill.
So if you could get one question answered this season, just one, what would be the question for like just one for this season that you hope to get an answer for this season? Chat, like, what do you guys think? If you guys could get the answer to one question as of right now, what would be the one question you'd have answered? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm not even know, because I mean, of course, I don't want the major question, although I do, but I don't. What's up with these Ankui kids and the monsters? I just got to know, man. Are they connected? It's killing me.
I think I would want to know if, in fact, Fromvile is another place like the island.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would just blow my mind. Because I'm not often right about stuff. So if I could be right about that one thing, I'd be good. I'd be like, okay, I don't need to think anymore. I don't need to have no more theories. I got my one. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Buddy says, I would say the roots look like intestines. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Because I think, what is it when our poor bartender, may he rest in peace, Tom. Which again, right? Like they didn't touch nobody but Tom, and she went inside. That house was collapsed. How did the house not continue to collapse while she's running amok up in this thing? Like she just psychic energy through it or something.
Yes.
Like phased through the wall or something.
And I saw Robert ask me who is the boy in white. I don't know who he is per se. I can't.
I don't know, because that's a hard one for me to like say for sure. He's the boy in white is a mystery wrapped in another mystery with a big old question mark. Because I've been trying to place him on good or bad, and then after I watched Lost, I put him sort of as a Jacob style character where the ends justify the means. But then watching back through to take screenshots, and I was just kind of watching him. I was like, well, what is his deal? Because he's at this lighthouse, and I noticed the lighthouse where he was staying at doesn't have, I think, now I don't know how far the reach of this psychic power goes, but I don't think he is messing, like he's at a lighthouse where it's kind of like a gas lit lighthouse and it's got the mechanics running. I don't know if the powers that be or whatever that did the Abby flash in the RV with the power going wompy, or when the Colony House radio tower got taken down and all that power surge there. I don't know if that can happen at the lighthouse because of how it's created. And maybe that's why the boy in white is there. So he's slightly separate. I don't know if he's the one that's bringing people here. He seemed to give clues in order to help people. So with him being on the lighthouse, it's weird because he also has the dogs with him. So he's got that shepherd or just someone who's helping people for safe travels. But this whole place is twisted. So is it like that but mirrored or kind of reversed in a sense? Like, is he...
I don't know.
A bad thing? I don't know. Honestly, that From has my brain spinning most of the time when we go down.
It does. Because
I will never have like a definite, like, this is where I stand, because I'm like, I don't know. Because I swear, almost for 100% fact, I would say something's true. And then I swear they'll put in an episode something that totally debunks all that.
Yes. And to answer Robert's question, I could see aspects of the boy in white being Jacob, being a little bit of the man in black. I could also see him being a little bit of the mother. We don't know yet which role he's falling into because we don't have enough information yet about him. We haven't seen the entity yet. That is what everybody is thinking is the big bad. So we don't know, because yes, in Lost, we could say the man in black was the big bad, but was he just a product of what the mother and Jacob did to him that made him bad?
Mm-hmm.
He did all that because of everything that was put on him. Because if you remember, when Jacob had the conversation with the mother, he was like, you didn't want me to be the protector of the island. You settled for me to be the protector of the island. You always wanted him, but he never wanted to stay.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to stay on the island to be that protector. And then when he killed the mother because of what she did to his village, that then prompted Jacob to do what he did. So we don't know the correlation yet of who the boy in white could be because we don't know enough about his story. Could he be good and is really doing this in a Jacob-like aspect because there is something really bad in From that he doesn't want to be released or get out or whatever, like an ultimate darkness that would destroy the world, same as if the light got snuffed out on the island would destroy the world? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if he was created because of some other situation that forced him down this path. like we don't know enough yet to say who or what the boy in white possibly could be, because we've seen him somewhat, quote unquote, help people, but we've also seen him kind of stand by and not help people, because look at all the people that have died in From so far, and he didn't like really do anything to somewhat help them. You know what I mean? So I don't know where to place the boy in white yet. I don't know where to place him, as far as I think Robert's asking me who I think he would match up with in Lost, and he's showing too many signs of
I give him sort of like a Jacob character until they reveal more in From. Like, just from what I know, that's where I would put him. But we'll see where they take him with season 3, because I mean, until we know truly where Tabitha is. Yes, she's on the outside possibly, but is she, how just, oh God, that alone. Because I mean, it's seemingly as if they can't get out, but then the boy in white just somehow is able, like, you just find it. Because it's not as if the boy in white led her there. She was led there by thinking she's saving these children, and he's aware of these children. He knows who those kids are because he says their names.
Yes.
But he doesn't have the veins. He doesn't appear to have the same sort of abrasions and things on him.
Yes,
so
he's unique. He's somehow unique.
Yes. And Bitey says, I think the town is like a fish tank prop. Looks right. Fish like it, but not real. Definitely. Yeah, that definitely is something to look at, Bitey, because we get the dome shape anyways of how they kind of portray the town in the drawings. And everything in that town seems to be off. That's original to the town. Let's see. It says, yeah, when Desmond's sitting in the hatch/bunker before the big thing happens, and he pulls out his book, pay attention. Talking about Lost, yes. Pay attention.
Yes.
Lost has some secrets.
Yes, that is actually it's in the encyclopedia. That is, but like that's what I'm saying. When you look at Lost and what they did with time travel, it was that loop. It was a cycle. And if you remember when Jacob and the man in black sat on the beach when the pirate ship, when Black Rock was first coming to the island, and the man in black literally says it's an endless cycle. People show up here, they destroy, they fight, they kill, and then it starts all over again. That's a big thing I hear a lot of people saying about From. It's a cycle. It's some sort of a cycle. And what if it's the same kind of contrast? They bring people in, they put them through whatever they're going to put them through, they fight, whatever is going to happen, and then it starts all over again. So like these are the things, like you can't ignore the parallels from one show to the other, because they're literally right there.
And I love how when the boy in white, like, he's always, whenever he's around in the woods, there's usually a tree around, right? Like a special tree.
Yes.
Is he guiding these trees? Which is, again, makes me wonder, then why did he send Boyd through that tree? Or was there some deception? And that's why he ends up sending Tabitha, like when they sent Boyd to, like, almost like they went over the boy in white. So when they sent Boyd to the dungeon with Martin,
what about
like,
this?
they broke the rules, and he's like, now I can send somebody out.
What about this? What if it wasn't that the boy in white sent him to the dungeon? Remember, Martin says something in that dungeon. He says that they have a way to trap you here in this, like that well was specifically to catch people going through a faraway tree. What if the entity is intercepted Boyd? It's not that the boy in white.
That's what I'm saying. Like the baby wonder if the boy in white either sent Boyd there or if they hijacked what the boy in white was doing.
I think it was a hijack.
I mean, what the boy in white was doing.
Hijack. Yeah, because like I said, I don't see the boy in white, like, because of what Martin said, and Martin brought up so much. Why not bring up the boy in white in some aspect? He doesn't talk about the boy in white at all.
Nope.
So that's why I also think that Martin was, I think this is where my theories differ from a lot of people. I don't think Martin was a regular person. I think that was a total setup by the entity.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it was a setup. I
That
don't
was to
Martin was
tug
once
on
real, but yeah.
That was to tug on Boyd with the whole tattoo of that was to get Boyd on that path of doing whatever he was going to do with the music box and to get those cicadas out there that would have drawn Boyd in once they took over the three beings, because Boyd would have never have let those three people die. He would have done anything and everything to stop that from happening. And I totally think that that was a total manipulation on the entity's part.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely manipulated Boyd. And let's see, some of you guys got some questions. Golden Child says, "How does time move in Fromville?" And I want to say it moves, as far as we know, it moves parallel in a sense to our time. Now, how it affects them there seems to be different, but I think it runs pretty parallel to our time. Now, when you start getting into these places, like the place that Boyd goes to in the dungeon, it's there and yet it's not there. Like, it's there in real time because the three go there, and I don't think they time travel there because they're still, their bodies are in two places. But it's not their body, it's their psyche, right? It's a part of them that's there. It's not their physical form. So just like that place is not it's physically there as ruins, but it's not physically there in the same way when Boyd goes and gets the cicadas. So it's weird how they're using this just weird reality of a realm that's sort of, it's somewhere between a dream and a just this psycho like echo of things. Because even these guys, like, there's something that happened in this place before, they're related to the symbol, but they're just an echo that kind of Jade walks into.
Yeah, because he tapped into that frequency.
And
he is tapping into something that others can't see per se. But also, what if it's the place from itself showing Boyd this? Like I said, we constantly think that it's an entity or something doing these things. It might be from itself doing these things. Because if it's alive in a sense, and it could be trying to protect itself by leading these people down this path because of whatever the internal conflict is between the two sides that we think there are. Because again, if we're talking about this place being some form of darkness, all of the things here could be something dark.
I believe when Boyd is in here, I want to say it's daylight when he first enters in here, but if it's not, then it's very weird that there's daylight coming through the top.
Yeah.
What is on top of this? Because again, this was all ruins. This right here is like all crumbled. The top up here is all crumbled away, and it's just kind of leaving a few archways half together. But when he's at Martin, there's sunlight coming. There's sky. You can see like blue sky. Was that just a production error, or was there actual supposed to be light there? And I wondered because it's just weird. And again, Martin has these weird 3 marks on him. He's just got all these different weird abrasions. I don't know, man. I don't know. This stuff is so weird. But yeah, guys, the time and from, I would say, kind of runs parallel. But it's different when they go into these weird echoes, right? These weird, like, psycho echoes.
Yes.
These little psychic echoes. I said psycho. I meant psychic. Little psycho. It got me psycho. And even this room, right? Martin's here, and there's a divide. There's this archway here with this wall. I'm calling it a wall. It's not a full wall. It's a partial wall, whatever. But it divides Martin. There's another wall here. Like, he's singular with another one across from him. But where the three are later, they're in this other area that it's almost like where Boyd goes to, where there's three of these other bodies, or at least two, and one's missing. So what is up with that?
Well, that's also, I'm glad you brought that up. That also makes me think that Martin was not one of these original three.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he so stands out from what we see down there that I really think that it was all on a means to send Boyd down the path of which he went.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why, because even down to when it's like everybody forgets about the rope being thrown down to Boyd. They didn't do that because they want us to just never end. Like, we're gonna figure that out. Like, even if it's the last hurrah we get about who sent down that rope.
Mm-hmm.
But we know there was something else there besides Martin, if not Martin doing it himself, being possibly the big bad and setting all this up to get Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why Martin, he is just, I don't trust him.
No, that rope was weird. I was pretty sure Martin threw it down to him. Again, that rope, when you kind of looked at it at first, it's sort of supposed to be somewhere over here. Like it's hanging over here, and then something throws it down. There's nothing else in the room and the music box just sort of appears in the room too, because there's sort of like nothing on this other side over here other than this pot. There's like this weird little pot over here, and there's no, I mean, I don't think there was any music box hanging around, and then it just sort of appears. A lot of illusions, a lot of just like I said, just things that I think of when I think of like psychic magic and stuff.
Yes.
Especially
Are you turning your D&D braid back on there, Scarlett?
I know what you're talking about.
Are you turning your D&D braid back on there? Dabbling in all that psychic abilities that you got?
I don't know what you're talking about. But Kiwi Skirt has a question, and it's her birthday, so we're going to definitely get to her question. And what is the symbol meant to mean? That's her top question, and it is the one that plagues us all.
Oh,
What is
that's
the
a good
symbol?
one, Kiwi. That's a good
What
one.
does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? I got to get Jack Skeleton saying that.
I could see that being a big question everybody would want to answer. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get that answer till the very last season.
But I think like these symbols, this is the symbol. These, I think, were him trying to make this symbol, maybe, or just like figuring out other ways, like trying to, the same way Jade was trying to rework the symbol with glass and other stuff to try to see it from a different perspective.
Yes.
At least that's what I think when I was watching back through it. But we might see these somewhere down the line. But I think this is the symbol, and this was kind of like their way of trying to kind of figure it out, change it up, see if it did anything, meant anything. But this symbol here is definitely curious, especially with the blood that is constantly being shown with it. It just, you know, how many times I've looked at this symbol and I thought definitely some kind of hoodoo or voodoo crazy magic, but then again, I can't, and there's nothing I think in lore that really ties to it specifically that I've been able to find. And I would, if it's out there, I want to know. I need it. I know some people have been able to find the monster on the cave drawings, at least a similar depiction of that. But this symbol, I don't know, some kind of blood symbol. Got the roots are tied to it, and it's definitely the caves. It was in the caves with them kids and the monsters, and people go crazy over the symbol. So I'm trying to figure out, and it's almost like it's like three lines, right? So three. It kind of forms this triangle up in here. So I'm trying to figure out if it has something to do with like, and we get the three triangles on the cave drawing. We get some triangles. We got torches, triangles, dogs, nightmares, madness, ghosts, and visions. Oh my Dana. Guess what I found that might have something to do with that stuff. I just got to find out where I put it.
What?
I found this little goddess. Let's see, did I put it over here? Aha! I found it. All right, where I got it. All right, this lady, this lady here, I cannot pronounce her name properly. I apologize. Melanos. It's not pronounced the way it's spelled.
Okay.
But she is interesting because she is sort of the goddess of nightmares, and she represents as a bringer of nightmares and madness. And some of her symbols, let me go down. Let's see, this is a little poem of her, but let me find the next one because I've got one that's got a lot more to it. But one of her things has to do with torches. According to hymns about her, she brings night terrors to mortals by manifesting in strange forms. She can also, let's see, I was trying to find where it talked about her. Let me see. Asawi. You know I'm terrible when I'm trying to actually find this stuff. It talks about her with torches and how she brings light in dark places.
Yeah, I remember you talking to me about her.
So, essentially, her mother and father were Persephone and Zeus. So, her embodiment is both of dark and light. She is like literally, her body is one half of it is darkness, the other half is light. And they often try to relate her to the goddess, and you say her name so much more beautifully than I do. Hecate? Hecate. Hecate.
Yep.
And although they have a similar characteristics, they're not quite the same, but both are often associated with torches, symbolizing guidance in the darkness. And I thought it was interesting how Boyd uses the torch, and he kind of says that line about how, you find, light in dark places. And they have a little attachment to some of the doggies out there, especially when there's the stories that kind of relate her to the other goddess, because she does particularly associate with dogs, particularly hellhounds and or watchdogs, which reminded me a little bit of how like the boy in white sort of had his dogs roaming around. But I'm trying to find the specific. I believe that might be another man. Okay, this is not the right page. There's some better stuff here. As a goddess who roamed the realms of spirits and nightmares, she did not have any offspring. That's not what I wanted to look up. Her characteristics. Maybe this is where I was looking. So half her body is pale and the other half is dark, representing her dual nature and her connection to both the celestial and the basically Hades realms. Underworld. I can't say that word properly.
What word? It's still too small for me. Oh, chthonic.
Chthonic. There you go. I love Data. She's the writer. She says she can read better than I can.
When I could see.
Common symbols associated with her include the crescent moon, symbolizing the night, and torches representing the light that guides spirits in the darkness. Now, she was inherently malevolent. She was a guardian spirit guiding them through the night. However, her association with nightmares and madness meant that she was often perceived with a mix of fear and reverence by ancient Greeks. And I'm trying to find the line. There was a line in here that particularly talked about... Okay, here it is. So according to some myths, primarily revolved around her nightly wanderings and her interactions with spirits. One such tale speaks of a mortal who, upon seeing her ghostly possession, was driven to madness. Yet in his insanity, he gained prophetic abilities, showcasing the dual nature of her influence. And that was interesting just because of the fact that we see Jade is sort of going mad from seeing these visions, yet he's now starting to kind of try to put these pieces together, or maybe he'll start to see things that are more, prophetic. Prophetic. I didn't say that word right either, Dana. But I don't know. This chick is weird. She's definitely interesting. She is definitely of nightmares. She has the moon crescent. We got the torch, and there's some more stuff about her that I'm going to try to go into a little bit more on a video, so that way I can kind of put it together a little bit better and have my notes better.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Body says, I think the evil needs people to escape, and the monsters are there to stop the people from helping the evil. Ooh, very much so could be.
No, that's interesting. I can't wait till you dive more into that.
I know, because I think even one of her symbols, and it's not just of her, it's of her, and it's an interesting triangle with these 3 goddesses on it, but I think each goddess represents on the symbol multiple goddesses. So like her and Persephone will be under one part of the triangle. I have to get really into that stuff.
Yes, and that's what you're good at. You're good at doing stuff like that.
Sometimes. I just gotta figure out how to say the words. Would you start getting into some of these, the Greek and Latin things?
I will help you with that. That's at least where I can help.
Yes, because that is where I will get tongue-tied. So let's see what Miss Lee Bradley says. My question that I need answered is, how do the monsters know what people are doing and thinking and saying? And again, this place seems to be just so, the psychic sort of energy that's kind of in this place seems to be sort of one of the natures of this place. So I wouldn't be surprised if the trees are connected to the monsters, or they're just able to just pick up on their thoughts, even when they're sleeping. Yes. So like if they're sleeping, what's to say this world is not able to read their thoughts and stuff? Now I know it knows stuff about people before they even get there, but we don't know the reach. I don't know, because it's so weird, right? Because it's almost like this place has a reach outside of From, with Father Cautry. There was another one too, where it seemed to sort of influence them prior to their arrival.
Yes. So you want to hear something interesting? So I was on, I was dabbling in the Facebook Fromvile today, and I saw this really interesting post. And the post was, is Tom the voice on the radio? And this guy, he answered back, his name is, I believe, Michael. He said, my thoughts. 1, if you listen when Tom is dumping out stuff over the porch railing, when the bus goes by, it's actually metal, not potatoes discarded like a lot of us thought it was. What if it was a radio and he's hiding the evidence? I couldn't get any pics of what he dumped. If anyone is able to, please post it. Then he goes on to say, 2, Tom could have deepened his voice and put on an accent. 3, Tom was the only person outside of the Matthews family that knew that Tabitha was digging a hole in the basement, because she came to him for new tools when she got the pickaxe right before they tried to get a signal. 4, Tom and Tabitha, as far as we know, were the only people not at Colony House trying to get the signal. Afterwards, Tom ends up under the house and is killed. What if he did his part, his orders, and now he was being released?
Possible.
I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I don't know, but I thought that was so friggin' interesting that he was killed because he played his part. He did what they needed him to do, and they didn't need him anymore.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you think about the people who they bring in, right? We got engineers, we got philosophers, we got, military, Boyd's military, very much so a great leader. Even Tai Chen, she's like one of these most awesome cooks that can just sort of whip anything up out of nothing, like very skilled, intelligent individuals. Not saying that necessarily everybody that's brought there is, but definitely are sort of core group of people here that are like high level success or intelligence. So it's interesting what their purpose is.
So interesting. And it's so simple. Like, yes, he was dumping out some forms of metal. What if it was a radio that he was trying to get rid of? And he died because From was done with him.
Mm-hmm.
He sent Jade down his path. He guided Jade to what he needed to be guided to. He gave Tabitha the tools she needed to help her dig that hole. he wasn't present during Colony House, and his excuse was, oh, when it fails, people are going to need a place to come drink. But that could have just been chalked up to a big fat lie. So you don't know. I thought you'd find that interesting.
Oh yeah, I love it. Love it all.
I thought that would pique your interest.
And you guys are killing it tonight. How much we gonna try to catch up? See, we got another question. Why are these folks stuck? And I think we answered a little bit of that. Possibly they have a purpose there. Now, who brought them there? Was it the boy in white? Was it the entity? If there is an entity, what is all? There's so many parties at play. Just too many pieces for me to keep track of sometimes. So I'm trying to figure out like that too. Like, who is it that actually pulled them there? I want to say the boy in white just because of how Elgin came in. Maybe he's been the one shepherding them back and forth, so to speak. But I don't know that for a fact.
I know, and that would give the boy in white another kind of check mark to being a Jacob-like figure.
Because they can't see the switchback yet, Vitey. Yeah, that's right.
So I love it. I love that this show gives us so much content to talk about without trying hard. Like, it's not like we're sitting down and watching something that is confusing. It's very much in our face and do with it as you will type of show. And I love that there could be so many theories on a single show. Like, it's not your detective show. It's not your straight up horror show. It's not your straight up sci-fi or like, it's such a mixture of so many different aspects that I love that people are gravitating towards it and really putting out their theories. I love that people are able to come together and just theory bomb the hell out of this shit.
And Chocolate Beauty says, I don't want it to be connected to the island. I want From to have its own origin story. And yeah, I definitely could see why, because for me, I see the connections, and even how Kiwi's saying it, it's definitely, it could be just the writers are putting a lot of either Easter eggs in there, or just they're pulling from what they know, as Kiwi's kind of, as she said it. Oh man, the Eloise thing just always makes me think like they're going to do this. I don't know if they're going to make it like a clear indication, or if it's going to be one of them things that they put in an encyclopedia later that's like, yeah, these are one of the islands, but it's its own story.
Yes, that's where I think we're going. But I just think that there are just so many things that connect them that, there she is. I was like, we lost Cardiff for a quick second. That I don't think you could ignore them. I think this island is going to have its own origin story, but I also think it's going to have its connections as well. And I'm excited to see where they go, because especially when you have an actor like Harold, who did come out and say, I made it very clear that this was going to be in the show like Lost. I wasn't going to do it. So I don't think we're going to get a Lost copycat. I just think we're going to get a merger. That they're just going, because I know that they put out there, when Eloise said that line, that this is not the only place like the island, that there are other places. The people behind the show did always say they wanted to do other places and explore other places. So that's really where my mind goes when I'm like, this is one of these places. So it is its own thing. I just love how you can meld them together. And I think this is only a part of that story. Like, this is just another place that brings the mysterious factor of what exists in the universe of their world.
And I can definitely understand like how like Kiwi's bringing up the fact the boy kind of ruins it a little bit. He does, because having him as two different characters being played by the same actor definitely puts a sort of wrench in it. But it's definitely, it's a fun theory nonetheless. I like it just because of the fact that there's so many connections, and it's just like, if it really, honestly, if it was not for that one scene with Eloise
Right?
talking about how they're different, that one's probably one of the biggest ones that makes me think that they were trying to make it like a nudge to Lost or
Yes.
something, or at least like in the same universe. But yeah, the
Yes.
Boyd thing definitely ruins it a little bit.
It does. But he could still be a part of this show. Just because he's saying he doesn't want it to be like Lost doesn't mean that he didn't see what these writers were going to do with it, that he was like, okay, oh shit, I like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, I hope we see, these people come in from Lost into this. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think the only true connection is going to be that it is another place in their world, but it still just goes to show you the balance, what you need with light
Mm-hmm.
and dark, what you need with heaven and hell, what you need with all these aspects to balance out the world itself. And From right now is out of balance. Something is causing it to glitch out or go out of whack, changing it. As Victor said, it's never snowed here before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what From has in it that is like, what does it bring to the world?
Yeah.
How the island brought the light. That's why I really think that this is going to be Fromville is bringing the darkness of what is within our world, because nightmares, the terror that they feel, the unknowing, the monsters, that's all stuff that's not from Lost. There were things that people thought were monsters, thought were darkness per se, but it wasn't. It was all about the light and what the island had to offer with the light. I think From is showing us what darkness could be, what
Mm-hmm.
evil could be, what people push to their ultimate limit could do in these circumstances, in these times. And that's what I think the connection is going to be when it comes to Lost and From.
Interesting. And we got you guys, of course, killing it tonight. Let me just see what we got going on. Vic says mine would be, what is Victor's backstory? I think when we learn about Victor, that's going to unlock a lot of answers, and I absolutely agree. I cannot wait to see what he finds this season. Is he going to find another sibling he done forgot about? Is it going to be about Christopher? Are we going to learn? Who knows? Like,
She was a
because we know
triplet.
so little. Look, he forgot one sibling. I would not be surprised if he done forgot like a whole other half of his family that came in. That was a nice size vehicle. They could probably fit a few more in there. Wasn't that small. I mean, it wasn't huge.
I know. It's so, but I love it. I love that we get to just sit here and talk about all this stuff. I love it. And I love that we can sit here and talk about this and everybody's just into it. I don't know. I love it. I love that we can do this.
Mm-hmm. And Purple Alizé says, what we know, when two vehicles arrive, shit hits the fan. But why and how? Exactly does it seem to be cycling through? And it's really tough because prior to Victor, we really don't know anything for a fact, right? We see a lot of different things that give us all these different theories on what we think is kind of the start of this place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like having just half the data. We don't have we don't have enough information. But it is interesting how certain things change. So when these vehicles arrive, again, who is sending these people in? Are they the same ones? Are the people who are sending these people in, are they the same ones that are in cahoots with the monsters to kill them? Or are they sending them in for a particular reason? So it's like the place says, hey, you sent in too many people. Now you've, overstepped your bounds. It's like, the board game everybody talks about, but it's on like a supernatural level. So are they battling it back and forth? So just like the storm, they reached something with that. And again, Colony House being where it's located, it's on top of the hill, very much so people could be healing there, maybe because it's getting closer to being outside of the frequency of whatever the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
why this place is getting mad, and then who, like, there's so many questions behind the who, what, when, where, that it's hard for me to place people on teams. But I do think there's something about this place that doesn't like certain things to change. It causes it to react.
Yes. Or what if it's not a reaction? What if it's a defense mechanism?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, defense, aggression, it just seems to have some sort of a, like, I don't know, just a reaction in general, good, bad, indifferent.
Yeah.
It has this sort of reaction to it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if it's the boy in white is sending these people. I really think the boy in white was because of Elgin. He gets kind of this dream where he talks about the boy in white. He gets the kind of sort of explaining about the nursery, or at least giving him the rhyme of the nursery rhyme, or nursery box. I'm saying a nursery box. I'm sorry, music box. And then let's see, Elgin also kind of talks about sort of he doesn't really say, he's very vague about what he sees in the dream, but I almost get this sense that he knew about the monsters from the dream. He knew about what's to come. When he was around certain things, he was very nervous, as if he has seen what's about to happen. Like, that dream was so intense. It was another one of these vivid dreams or visions that certain people have. So I don't know. Did the boy in white induce that one? And if he can induce visions, then which one of these visions are from him and which ones are from, I don't know, the Nkui children? Like, are they sending off messages? And then you just have random, almost seeming like echo spirits that are still in this place, because Sarah says that no, what she hears is totally different from everything else. Like, nope, she could tell this is different from this, separate from this voice. The entity or whatever, the cicada monster music box, she could very clearly hear that it wanted, it was killing these people, and once the genie's out of the bottle, that's it, no go. So I don't know, it's very weird. Two cars, or it's weird that it's the two vehicles. Like, oh, that's weird, that's never happened until this happened. I don't know if we know that. It's so weird because I don't trust Victor anymore.
It's not that I don't trust Victor. I just think he has been through so much trauma that when you go through so much trauma, your brain reacts in ways that sometimes you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine you walk outside of that root cellar and you see the devastation that is around you. No one is left alive as far as we know. Mm-hmm. How long was he alone? Yeah. How long was he isolated and by himself when he was a child? When you're developing, when you're learning how to navigate certain things that you need guidance for. And he didn't have that. So the fact that he's still stuck in that childlike state is understandable. And how every time he gets upset, he covers his ears. And that's a very autistic thing to do. They don't know how to handle certain things, so they will cover their ears and do that, how he like swings back and forth. So I don't think that it's Victor can't be trusted. I just think that he doesn't understand himself, his memories, because he himself doesn't know what's real and what's fake.
Yeah. No, he's definitely even said something like where he's like, yeah, they're like a dream, so I draw them to remember, because the images bring back the memories.
Yes, he gets triggers and things then come back to him. So it's like, imagine being alone for so long as a child, and now you have all these people in Fromvile, and they treat him like he's still an outcast. So he is not going to. That's why I think he gravitated so much towards Tabitha, because Tabitha did treat him like a mother. Very comforting, very loving, very kind, understanding. She held him in the moment when he discovered his sister's pictures and all that came flooding back to him. That was a comfort he has not felt or had his whole life. So he's going to gravitate towards people like that. Hence, when Jade was like bombarding him, like, "What do you know? Tell me!" screaming at him, he rejected that because that brought forth all the harshness of his reality. So I think when Victor has that conversation with Sarah, I have to remember he knows in that moment that his brain does know stuff. He's got to pull them out. And I think once he does, we are going to get such a flow of information and things that we are going to see Victor totally different.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what he finds out this season, because he is definitely a key to some of the things, if nothing else, what he knows, what he may know.
Exactly.
Star says, darkness dreams are my speciality. Through dreams, I influence mankind. Absolutely.
I love you, Star. I love Star.
Star's reciting some very interesting information, food for thought, ponder over.
That's why she's my favorite lady.
And Purple Alizé says, Kenny did mention that perhaps their time is going to help stop this cycle. And yes, what is up with the cycle? Where is it going to go? God, they give us so many symbols. I mean, we got this Wampy infinities, like, or two G's sort of that come together. It's like an infinity symbol, but it's not.
Yes.
It's like everything in here it's like something, but it's not, right? It's very frustrating.
It is. And I do definitely love, I love how people they're going back to mythologies. That like everybody's brain is just on like overdrive with this show, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Oh yes,
because we're all able to like feed off each other. Like you're able to read other people's things and go, "Oh wow, I didn't see that," or "That's a good thought." That makes you think in your head, "Well, what about this?" And it could be, and that's what I love about it. Like we can all theory bounce off each other.
Mm-hmm. And Bitey says, I think time moves normal in Fromville, but I think people age faster there. Jade's hair, Boyd's gray hair. Absolutely. And particularly when we get the deceased Tom coming back and talking to Jade and saying how the physics of this world are just not normal to you, but it does have rules. And you talk about how possibly this is in a realm or dimension sort of above or below ours. It is possible, depending on the dimension and what is going on with it, that the physics are definitely skewed and that time still runs linear, but yet the physics of that world definitely changes you. Healing, the hair growth itself would be like how it's showing that things are kind of that time, like you're saying, Bitey, that it's just not so much time, but how that place affects you. It definitely does. And even, I think, like, Jim had a hard time. Jim was pretty messed up, too. I'm waiting to see how Boyd heals up from his gunshot wound and where he goes when he gets back. Like, see how that, because I know some of you guys out there talk about the Colony House. I know Real talked about it, too, I think, right? Real Enigmas, how it was Colony House is sort of a magical place. And I could kind of see that, because, like I said, it's on top of a hill. So it's sort of, and it's creepy. It almost looked like an Addams Family house or something. Total creepy house. If you ever see the Colony House in images where it's like in the background with the trees around and stuff, and you just see like the top layer of the house or the top levels, total creepy house. So yeah, I could definitely see it having once been a house where who knows what kind of things went there. Like, the clubhouse for the secret organization, and the blood dripped down into the streets of the town.
Yes.
Cursed it for all of eternity. Yeah.
I know, it's just so much. It's so much, and I can't wait. 10 days. I think it's 10 days. And like it's gonna start, and we are all just gonna be just diving in and just absorbing this new season.
Oh yes.
I can't wait. Just like I'm hopeful that I enter the drawing So I don't know if I will be able to sit for the From panel at New York Comic Con, but I'm so interested to see if they're going to drop like a new trailer, like a midway trailer or something, because From's going to start. Comic Con's the first weekend in October. So it's going to be interesting to see what they talk about.
Oh yeah,
We're
can't
going
wait to
to see
see
a
what you get
few-
to, like panels or any of that stuff,
Yeah,
guys.
so
Get
it's
your
going to be
questions
very
into Dana.
It's going to be very, very interesting. I don't know if they will allow questions since we're at the Madison Square Garden Theater. It's so big that they typically only let people ask questions in the smaller venues, but From got so big that they actually moved them from the Great Hall in the Javits Center to the Madison Square Garden Theater, and that theater holds 2,000 people.
Mm.
So I don't know what they're going to do, because when I was there for The Walking Dead, it was unbelievable, like what they did. So I don't know. And they're going to be there on a Sunday. So that's the day their show airs. So they might let people at the theater watch the episode ahead of time.
Ooh.
If that's the case, I probably won't be able to talk about it until it airs, because they make you sign waivers not allowing you to talk about it. So
Dana will know, and we'll just be sitting here like, you gotta tell me, you gotta tell me, you gotta tell me. She's like, nope, locked up tight.
Yeah,
I signed the waiver.
Like have to sign in blood.
I signed the thing. They took my firstborn, my lastborn, and all the children of our family that ever come.
Yeah, it was crazy when we went for the Walking Dead premiere. And so I'm interested to see. They haven't announced who's going to be there yet cast wise. The only person that's been announced is Boyd. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually is going to show up.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't wait to find out and get to see all the fun that you're going to show us as you report live. New York Comic Con 2024.
I am going to walk through it, and Scarlett is going to commentate and just tell me, oh, go there. That looks interesting. Go there. That looks interesting. And I'm just going to walk around and show everybody New York Comic Con.
Nice. We got some more questions. Vic asks, is he time traveling in his mind? Because if Jade is time traveling in his mind, maybe Boyd is doing the same. And yeah, the time traveling is definitely not off the table. I personally don't ride with the time traveling because I'm worried if they start doing time traveling, they're going to mess up and catch themselves up in something. But it's definitely the mind side of things, this sort of psychic stuff they have going on. The monster seemingly to know things that they shouldn't know. This sort of, as soon as you cross into this physical realm of From, you are now linked in to some degree with the psychic energies of this place. Kind of how Fatima talks about, some people like this place is calling out. You just have to be able to listen to kind of hear it, just as much as I think it pulls from you. But it could still be time traveling. I mean, they could be doing it in the mind. It's definitely not off the table. Yeah, like the ballerina, it was in his mind. Like, right, Boyd saw the ballerina. It was almost as if it was physically interacting with the world, but yet Kenny could not see it. Made Kenny think Boyd was going crazy. Which at this point now, if anybody says they saw something and I can't see it, I'm just going to start freaking out and shooting stuff or something. I don't know. I'm assuming whatever you see is real at this point. Like they would have I mean, I don't know how they are holding it together as they are in From, because at this point, yeah, the shit has more than hit the fan, and they're talking about ramping it up even more for this season. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I know. What you sent me today put my brain in overload.
I mean, like, I haven't even dissected it yet. I just watched it like in 30 minutes or so, or hour before we went live.
Yes, and I can't wait to like pick my mom's brain more about it.
But yeah, this chick here, she's all dancing around. Kenny cannot see her or this music box. Again, just like how when they're sort of back where the music box originated from in the dungeon, Sarah can hear it, and she knows it's there. Like, it's here, but it's not here. So it's this weird layering that they do with things, but it's messing with the mind. So it goes back again to the mind and how they're playing with them, right? And then what is it? What are they feeding on? What is the purpose? What are they feeding on?
Yes.
Is it their fear? Is it their hope? Is it just the like the particular torture they're doing with the town looking a certain way to kind of bring their guard down? But also, is it like do they feed off of the fact that they have people wanting to go home so bad and they can't? It's just like this endless torture. The torture itself is sort of the food. But then again, that seems kind of like, that seems like it's more than that. That's like surface. That's too easy. We got to go deeper. Go further down the hole and see what we find. I need some lights.
Yeah.
We need lights on the situation.
I know. It's great.
And yes, Kiwi, I feel like figuring out the symbol will solve the story, but could be completely wrong. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think we can figure out that symbol and what it is, because obviously it repeats some things. We gotta get Jade back in them caves. He got scared off. You need to go back. Go back. Just go in the caves. At least start right after the sun is good and shining. You want to go early in the day. You may want to have, you know what? I don't know if these monsters can kill you in the caves. Yep, take fire with you just to be safe. Some form of fire.
I know it's gonna be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I know before we go any further, I do want to congratulate you, Scarlett. You are creeping up to 200 subs.
Oh, yes, that's right, guys. We are almost at 200. I know before we went live, we were at like around 192.
I think so. I haven't checked.
We're almost at 200.
I know.
I'll have to go back and check it and see where we are at.
To 200, we are going to do an awesome giveaway.
That's right, and Dana was going to talk all about that. I totally forgot about it. Thank you for reminding us. Yes, guys, we're going to be getting up to 200 subs very soon if we have not already, and so Dana has planned another awesome giveaway for all you guys. You want to go ahead and show it?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, wrong button.
I got to put you on full screen.
Keep clicking mute. No. So I have a friend who does stuff with t-shirts, and he printed me this awesome. Oh, my mother says she's going to sing Dominic the Donkey. Let's
Lord.
So I don't know if you could see, it's the way my camera is, but he printed these awesome shirts, and we are going to give some of them away. So, yes. It's my mom wants one. She's yelling at me. So he printed this one up for me. I'm sending Scarlett a couple, and we're gonna throw out some of these to you guys in the chat once we get Scarlett to 200. So we gotta get Scarlett to 200.
Woo woo! That's right, guys. Dana always giving. She is the best, guys.
Yes,
and make sure you go check out her channel, guys. She is the DM master.
I want to take a picture of just the talisman because it gives a nice, like, friggin' zoomed in, like, picture of the talisman, which is.
I know, it's like you could see it. All right, can we get this with all the images in front? Can I get like? Okay,
yeah,
I can
right?
now properly dissect this image, as opposed to the closer I get, the more fuzzy it gets. I'm like, dang it, I can't tell what that is. I can see the color.
I know. I'm excited. So that's what we're gonna do. So we gotta get you there. We're gonna get you there.
Oh God, yes, we are almost there. We were less than 10 when we started, so I have no doubt we will make it there in no time.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So I'm glad that, like, you know, I love doing these streams with you. You are my bestie, and you know I love you. And
aww,
I could not see myself doing this with anybody else.
No, I can't handle it, guys. No, go check out Dana. She's the greatest DM master ever.
I'm in a small bubble with Dungeons and Dragons, so we don't do TV and stuff on my channel. We save all that goodness for you. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons and you want to come see Scarlett play, see us play, we have a lot of fun. But I just do Dungeons. I'm the real nerd. I just do Dungeons and Dragons. So it's we're gonna have fun, and I just can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Star, you know you are like one of my like favorite people in the whole wide world. So she comes out and she listens to us babble on in Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So
She's one of our good supporters. You guys are
yes.
killing it.
Kiwi,
Sorry,
all you
I'm
guys.
reading these comments, Dana. You guys are killing it. I love it. Chocolate Beauty talking about maybe they're doing some type of dream walking. I mean, I love anything that's going to be talking about dreams, realms, and psychic abilities because that is the vibe I get from this place. Although I don't know what it means. Again, what does it mean? What
I
does it
know
mean?
it's very weird with what they're doing with dreams because it's like, is it a dream within a dream sort of thing?
I know, right? Like, I don't think they're like dreaming on the outside, like, like their body's on the outside and they're dreaming. It's like this place is a realm, dimension, however, and it is of this psychic kind of
Yes,
dream
DK
sense.
likes my shirt. Yes, see, and look, it even says like from at the bottom of it.
Yeah, God, you guys is killing it. I'm so far away from where you guys are in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up. You guys
and I'm going to print them per your size request. So I'm not just going to get like a bunch of big shirts that you might float in or not fit you. So whoever does win the giveaway, you will give me your size. I will order them to your size and then I will ship them out. But he also printed me some, it's going to be this one that we're giving away, but he made the special one for me and you where it's the faraway tree.
Oh yes, Data's doing special.
Yeah, so, and he's really awesome. He works for a company called T Publix. It's a big t-shirt company. Oh God, he's been printing me shirts for like ever. So I asked him because I couldn't find anything for From. Like there really wasn't anything out there. And then I sent him like some images of stuff, and then like he finally got a hold of like some real stuff that he could like print, and he actually they're also on the website, so you can now even go buy yourself one if you want one.
Oh, tell him to definitely drop a link or something if you hadn't already in the Discord. And
yeah,
if you haven't joined the Discord, we have a Discord for TV shows and stuff like that. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. And Dana, when I get yours in there, I'll definitely highlight it. I gotta re-put yours.
Oh yeah,
Discord up.
That's fine.
For some D&D action, which we'll be getting back to this weekend.
Dungeons and Dragons. And I will be everybody who participated in the Evil giveaway. I have everything like boxed up. I'm just collecting addresses, and I'm going to be sending all that stuff out most likely either Monday or Tuesday, depending on the few people we're waiting for their addresses. So everything, and Star, I swear I am getting yours to the post office, and I'm including something else for you because you've been so nice and patient, and I'm putting something else in the box.
And you never know, because Dana, she's good. Like, she straight up just has stuff. I don't know where she comes from. She's not quite, I want to say, like Fanny Pack Granny, because I think she's evil. And if there's a mole, it's her. But like the good version, the one that's got the stuff you want, she just be pulling stuff out. I swear to God, like she'd be like, "Look, I got this stuff." I'm like, "What do you mean you just got?"
I don't know.
Stuff?
Can you tell I collect things? I don't know.
Look, man, she knows how to bargain. Look, she was telling me about deals on Amazon. I'm like, damn, girl. I'm like, that is a deal. I'm like, damn, you shopping. And then like she finds the deals.
It does.
Like how you found a deal for ink. I was even like, well, I'd be damned. That's a pretty good deal. I was like, how could you pass that up?
One thing I can do good is shop. So
I'm saying. So she got stuff, guys. Just don't even know.
Yes. So
she's saying, yes, she's got it all, Kiwi. I'm telling you, man. She just pull it out. Whatever you need.
But I am not the mole. I could tell you I am not the mole.
No, she's not the mole. Look, man, half of our team probably needed dice for D&D, and Dana was like, I got like 5 cases, no worries.
Yeah, I have a big old bucket of like dice, so I've been sending them out.
Maybe it's more like she's the keeper of the, what was it, the lonely dragon in the cave, but it was like Tai Chin. I don't know.
I do. When I pull out my Comic-Con box of like just stuff, I feel like that. I'm just like, ooh, what can I pull out of here today? What can
the cave of stuff.
What can I do?
She's the dragon. Watch out.
I try.
Get you. But no, them t-shirts are actually awesome, guys. So yeah, make sure to stay subbed and join the Discord, because I know we will be putting updates for that or reminders for when we get to that point. And after we hit the 200, if we hit it before the start of season 3, then we'll do it, like, I would say, just maybe we'll do it right before, like, or the day of that night when it starts. Or if it's after, then we'll do like maybe we'll try to do it on one of the nights where the show comes out, the next episode comes out, or something like that.
We're gonna have some fun with it, so I can't wait.
Well, let me go back up here because you guys were saying some interesting things.
I know, before we got distracted with t-shirts. And
no, those t-shirts are actually awesome. No, we did not get distracted. That was very much so needed, because I'm telling you, you guys are gonna like it. I can't wait to get mine.
I know.
Data's the best.
No, I'm just a regular person.
Are you the best. I'm gonna bring these back up.
I'm just a nerd. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, and I'm just reading through, and Chocolate Beauty says also a lot of people have survivor's remorse and sometimes create their own nightmares as punishment. Yeah, definitely. Like, what is the worst in season 2? Was it really the nightmare creatures, whether it be the monsters in the caves or whatever this new kind of craziness that was going on, or was it the actual people?
That's a good one.
A lot of people got hurt or messed up or died because of people. Even season 1, you know, girls up in there cutting tongues out and leaving doors open. I mean, who's the real monster here, Dana?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know.
So you guys are talking about Crossroads. I love it because especially we get the bottle tree, and I think that particular kind of bottle tree is what you see at Crossroads. So yes. You guys are talking all about the nightmares and the dreams and the Crossroads. Let me see.
It would be interesting if they go the dream route. I hope they don't go the route where like they're in comas or something and stuck in like a dream realm. I hope that they put a little more of a spin or a twist on it than just like some generic, they're all in a bunch of comas and, you know, in hospital rooms somewhere. So I'm hoping that it's still a physical place, that it itself is in that sort of realm compared to them being in some comatose state and in the realm. And yes, I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. So I'm trying to keep my hands stationary.
No, it's fine. Look, I'm sorry, Binda. I'm sorry, Binda. If Binda on 42 is still in the chat, I'm sorry. I was way behind. He was in here.
Oh, he was?
he still may be, Data. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's our awesome friend. He streams on Twitch. He plays video games, and we have dragged him into the world of delving into TV shows and movies with us. We have just dragged him kicking and screaming.
Chocolate Beauty has a good question. Does the great goddess, and you say her name, Hecate, represent the mother and often symbolizes as the crow? And honestly, I did not go too deep into her lore, other than the fact that yes, she was, I believe, one of the Titans.
I'm not too sure. I actually have a book on her that I'm going to dig out of my Wiccan stuff. And I believe she's either an aspect of the maiden or the mother. I know she's not a crone, she does not symbolize the crone, but I know she either symbolizes the maiden or the mother of like the triple moon goddess aspect in Wicca. But I will look, because it's been a long time since I've delved into stuff with her. But she is one of the aspects.
Yes. And she also, I believe, resides in Hades so her and like Persephone and the other goddess I brought up, Melonis. I know I'm not saying her name right, but a lot of these goddesses sort of fall under the same pocket from what I read, and I did just some rough research. I've really got to go a little bit further into it. I've got to kind of travel down Hecate, her deal, because she relates in a sense, but most of the stuff I read says that that her and the Milanus are not the same kind of goddess. They actually have different fathers, mothers, like different lineage. They just have such similar tales that sometimes people confuse them, or they put them in the same. So Milanus is sort of like she's a goddess, and when they talk about them, from what I understand, they may also refer to them as a nymph, but that does not necessarily, or they'll give them another name, but it does not necessarily mean they are lesser.
That's interesting.
They do not mean that they are lesser, more so that their age. So she is an age. So Milanus is of age for if she were to be to get married. She's of age in lore
to be the maiden.
And then I think Hecate might have been a step above that, where she was already past that point, but I can't, like I said, I didn't go into hers. I mostly stuck to the one just trying to get hers. And then, of course, Persephone, I think I'm saying her name right.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one that ends up marrying, or kind of forcibly has to marry Hades. She becomes the one that gives us our seasons. Of course, we get with the weirdness of the seasons. So we sort of get this trifecta of goddesses, again, with the triangle, tying to the death, the seasons, the moon cycles, which we see displayed on the Peach Truck map, the dreams, the sort of psychic energy that they kind of bring. And then Milanus is sort of what I want to say, the bridge in between worlds, because she is the one that can walk between worlds. She can she guides the dead in a sense, but she can also bring on nightmares into mortals. She can even make mortals see visions of the dead, similar to how we see Father Cautry and Tom, where they're living embodiments, but yet they're still spirits that she controls in a sense. Like, she still has a sort of dominion over them. Mm-hmm. And even so much so that she was created through sort of a chaos, because her father was actually Zeus. So Zeus came down, tricked Persephone into thinking that Zeus was, Hades, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, she was created. And what did you think that the underlord, ruler was going to do about that? He wasn't too happy about that. And supposedly one of the things I found was that she was taken and ripped apart and scattered into pieces. And then she just sort of came back together and was created into this sort of, because of her parents, I guess. You know how them Greek stories go. They're weird.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was ripped apart was just this little things that they put that were similar in her lore that really stood out. So I really want to get deeper into that and kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit more.
I love the connection you made with the torches.
Yes, and I have that
was really interesting, because that was something very specific that Boyd used to, and it's basically like when he lit it, it brought him into this, back into the dungeon fully intact. Dungeon, I whatever you guys want to call it, but it's almost like the lighting of the torch brought him into that part of, from whether it be a time step, like, I don't know what to call it, because I'm still on the fence with the time travel. I could see in certain hints why they might be dabbling in it, but I personally don't see it going the route via Lost did, with people going to a specific time like they did in Lost. I don't think that's what they're going to do. Now, mind you, just my opinion, could be wrong. I'm not stating facts or anything. That I'm just saying, I think we are going to see maybe time displacement in a little bit, because it's almost like the lighting of the torch brought Boyd to that moment, and not a whole, like, he time traveled like Back to the Future sort of thing. I think he transitioned in the lighting of that torch. Like that torch gave him entryway. And like you said with this goddess, she uses it to light the way for people.
It was like the what is it? Let me go back and see.
If that connection is made, it's almost in lighting the torch, she lit his way for him to what he needed to do or get to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like the light. Her torch is like the light that guides in the dark or something. Hang on, I gotta find the exact quote. How was it said? But no, this is sort of a picture I have up here. And again, I think this is sort of like someone's depiction of it. And it's not an exact, like, it's just one image I found really quickly tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how they depict a lot of the stuff that is in the lore of her double sort of sided nature, the moon, the torches, and the watchdogs. And it was just so interesting as I'm going through and finding these things again. Even someone who drew this picture of her drew it with two dogs. It was particularly with these two watchdogs. So I was just like, are we seeing another two watchdogs?
I know that was another interesting connection to her, was the fact that of these dogs and from. And I definitely think those dogs have more meaning than we think.
So what does it mean? I don't know, but I just think it's just really weird that they're particularly there's like I said, we getting all the pieces, but we're not finding the connection. I don't even know if this chick really has anything to do with it, but just going down the rabbit hole as Jade would intend, just trying to find those connections. And at least is it the flavor? So this is not the goddess or the entity, but they're drawing off of sort of what the embodiment of this is and sort of that realm that she embodies or lives in. How can we relate that, or how would that be something from would be? And let's see, the Grumbledore says, have always wondered if the characters all have some trauma and blocked out things like it did with Victor forgetting Eloise, and this place is there for them to deal with it and choose a crossroads. Ooh, I like that. What you think, Dana?
Interesting. He's been putting the Grumbledore's been putting some interesting stuff in the chat tonight.
Oh, yes. Killing it. See, he also says, like, Abby actually already being dead before they got to From, and this place manifested her, or Donna's sister was already dead prior. It's a place helping them heal by accepting the traumas and deaths. That is definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Definitely a possibility. Yes, you guys are killing it. Bitey says time travel done right equals dark. Watch it. There you go. Bitey says it.
I keep hearing about that show. A lot of people say that Dark did time travel like really, really well.
I have to check it out.
It's not American though, right? I think it's from somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's an American show.
And yes, I like how you're kind of saying it, Chocolate Beauty. That's why I believe they are dream walking or daydreaming. Yeah, because I don't know if it's, for me, it's not so much time travel, or even like how you guys are kind of saying it's sort of they're going to the past and through vision. So it's time travel. To me, it's more like the dream walking or the psychic echoing. And they're able to, because it's as if when Sarah heard the music box, that place, although what they're perceiving in the realm that they're in, they could not see that place the way it was, but yet it was there. Like in real time, she could hear the music box. She could hear the three in there with, Julia and stuff crying out, like real time. So it's weird that is correlating with the sort of the time, all right, the timeline that they're going on and from, how this place is still going with that same timeline. Like it doesn't, it's being linear, yet it's two separate timelines. That's the part that creates a weird paradox for me that I can't get through. But the psychic echoes and just how this place is a dimension and if you look at sort of those theories out there with dimensions, the string theories, the infinity theories, and all these different theories, and you start kind of going into how you can create these weird different vortexes and stuff, or vortices, in order to create portals, so to speak. I'm saying them in sort of these people go in a lot better description of this stuff. I'm just sort of really I'm saying a more dumb version because I don't even truly understand it. It was so intricate. But when you, like I say, you think of realities and then you start thinking of dimensions, and how when you layer another dimension on top of something, just as we see, you got 1D, 2D, 3D. We already can see how things, when it's changed from 1D to 3D, how that changes the perception of it. Well, once you get past a certain point of just perception, visually, you start getting into dimensions that are possible, dealing with time, dealing with the very physics from which we kind of think we live in. So if it's changing those, it's very possible that time and or just the reality of this place is different. If it isn't some weird like 6 through 24 dimension that we can never probably perceive unless somehow we get there. And then again, how did they kind of drive through? And I was watching how like Boyd and Tabitha and them were driving in, and they seem to do a lot of these little twists and turns. And I was like, man, what is it? Is it the tree? Like, what is it? That's the part that where I get like, dang it, now I don't know where I'm at, because I'm like, I'll get somewhere with it. I'm like, okay, we got dimensions, but then how is it that they're getting in there? Where is the vortex or whatever, the portal? Where is that point? How is that formed? And that's where it gets really complicated. And I don't know. I lose it. It's gone. The rabbit hole like caves in.
It's going to be interesting to see when we get the answer to what the fallen tree really symbolizes. I think that is the crossroads, because as we know, once they see that tree, they're there. That's what we've deciphered so far, is that once anybody sees that tree, we know that they have already entered Fromville, and from how they've depicted it to us. But I'm very curious to see if there's ever been an incident where somebody actually went past it. I would love to see somebody, whether it's somebody new or they give us just anything to that extent. I would love to see if somebody actually went past the tree. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh yeah, like do the crows peck their eyes out? They get swarmed? Do they just like fall off the edge of the earth?
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Is it honestly that simple stupid? Like all you had to do was cross the tree instead of just turning around, that it was so obvious.
Oh, I would be so mad.
That
like if I was Jade, I would be so hella pissed. I'd be so hella pissed. I'd be like, are you kidding me? I didn't look through all these symbols. I've been plagued by all these visions and nightmares and monsters.
And it was
and all I had to do
going past the tree.
It was just tell the birds to go fuck off. Like Data says, just fuck right off. I'm going through. I'm just going to step over, leave my car, and just keep walking down the road.
Like, I'm just like, what could it be like that friggin' simple? Like all somebody had to do was like walk past.
Doesn't make me mad. I'm telling you right now. I'm triggered right now. You talking about it, Dane. I'm like, there's just no way.
But I'd be curious to see if they give us a little tidbit like that. This show, I think, would really benefit from little side webisodes. I would love to see this show make little one-shot webisodes like The Walking Dead used to do before they destroyed the fucking Walking Dead. They gave you these little tidbits to explain stuff, like the big don't go inside, don't go dead inside. They did a little webisode to show us the origins of who painted that on there. Like, I would love to see little webisodes, and one of those webisodes being like maybe somebody walking past the tree. I think that would be so friggin' cool. Because there are little tidbits in this show, like, why a post office?
I know, right? Like, because it's like
where did the hotel go? We have this hotel sign, but no hotel. So I would love to see this show make little side webisodes, because I think that would really, really interest the fandom to get these little like one-shot deals that they're not going to ruin anything for the main story that they're trying to do, but it answers some stuff and keeps us like, oh, that's so interesting. That's so fucking interesting. Like, where did the animals come from? Like stuff that's not going to impact the primary show, but still give the fans enough little tidbits that keep us like, oh, that's so cool.
I was trying to see if the music box always had the red in it. I was like, where did the red come from? I just didn't pay attention to it before. It was red inside of it.
Did you see the picture that I put up in the Discord, in your Discord? I was scrolling through stuff and it said the music box, that there was dates written on the rocks, but it was too blurry for my eyes to look. Like I couldn't tell. There was a photo floating around.
Where? Like here? Like this photo? Because this is one of the music box. It's inside the...
Hold on.
Because I don't see any dates particularly around this part of the music box, but...
Hold on. From images. I'm going to send it to you. Hold on. But I saw it, and I just couldn't really make it out just because of my eyes. But somebody snagged it. It says date engraved in rock next to the music box. But I don't know entirely from like what scene it was possibly from.
That's what I'm saying. I can't. No.
See that? Like it just says there's the music box, and then they said there was dates written in the rocks next to the music box. And I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where that one's from because it's almost like it's outside, but the only time I remember it being outside was when Boyd and Kenny were outside, but.
And it says image turned upside down for 180. Then there's a rock up here circled. But yeah, as I zoom in, it gets too blurry for my eyes. But yeah, I was just curious if anybody else picked up on that.
No, I mean, I haven't seen. I'll have to go back through and figure out which scene that's from so I can...
It says, in the well, date engraved in rock next to the music box.
Well, see, that's what I'm on right now, but I don't know. Is he talking about...
I don't know. Like, I don't know who originally put up that post. It was just a random...
Because, I mean, there's some little, like, zigzags on this rock here, but it's not like a date. Even if I were to flip it, it's just the rock. Like, that's got some erosion on it.
Okay, yep. Just something I happened to scroll by, and I was like, oh.
I mean, doesn't mean that that photo isn't real. I'm just saying, like, we will have to investigate.
We're going to have to do some diving.
But Star has a request. Says, please, can one of the prizes be Mom singing our favorite song, please, please?
Really? You want to hear more friggin' Dominic the Donkey? She'll do it too. Don't make me. She'll do it.
Oh, the love in the background, Dana. Very nice.
Oh, the pops. Yes, I'm a little Funko Pop crazy, and it doesn't really kind of stop there. It just kind of keeps going. I love my Funko Pops. Yes, I do.
And the Grumble Door says, no time travel, please, or aliens. And I'm of the same mind, but I will not discount time travel yet, or aliens, but I do not wish it. He said it's aliens for sure. Yep, Snuggies. He's on it. He already knew. He knew before us all. Aliens and time machines, to be exact. Oh no, it's breaking my heart. It's breaking my heart. Sorry, so she likes theories. Snuggie would be jumping for joy, and he should not be named. He who should not be named. Yes, there's some folks out there who definitely love the alien theories, and I definitely could see it. It's still a possibility. I don't discount it. There's something definitely keeping track of things that are going on. There's technology that doesn't make sense, at least in the sense of water and power. So I mean, it's still very much so up in the air.
Yeah, it is. We really don't know what it's going to be. And I know that there are people out there who are steadfast in like their theories, like this is what it is, but we don't know. We really don't. All we have, everybody's theories are just speculation at this point. We don't have enough answers to figure out things one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Like we honestly just don't. Like it's not a show that we've gotten any full derivative of what this is. We just know it's a fucked up place, and lots of fucked up shit happens in this place, and that's literally all we know for sure. We don't know anything else.
No.
And I can't wait to see, because that's what I keep telling people, especially when people get caught up in some of these grander theories that are out there. I'm like, you have to remember, I'm like, this show, we're not going to know until we know. So until this show comes out and literally slaps us in the face and says, this is what the fuck it is, we're not going to know. They're just going to point us down these different directions and let us friggin' suffocate until we figure it out. But we could all be right. We could all be wrong. And they can, in the end, screw us all over and give us something that we're all just like, that's not what any of us thought it was. So I don't know. But I do love thinking about what it could be. That's the fun part about it. Like really looking at stuff and being like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? What did you see in that image? What did you see in that trailer? What did you get from that? So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get.
There's definitely a lot of possibilities still out there. And again, with all the stuff they have given us for season 3, all the trailers, images, and I'm still trying to figure them all out because they've definitely made us think just about anything is going to happen this season. I think it's pretty confirmed that Kenny's mom is not going to make it. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm leaning more towards her. And then there's definitely going to be another beloved character. The way they said that in that trailer today that we watched.
Yes.
And then I'm trying to think of who that would be. And
he emphasized we're losing a few of our favorite characters this upcoming season. Like it wasn't just like one. They emphasized multiple.
Because they showed Randall in the streets. I think he's definitely on the chopping block. The way he was kind of caught, doing his old cicada thing in the streets, and the monsters sort of surrounded his butt. Like, oh no, that's not good. And then I don't know if we're looking at someone like Julie or even Marielle or Christy, possibly one of the ladies, or even I hate to say it, girl.
What?
Your girl, Donna.
I can see that, but yeah, I don't think
because she's pretty. I know she's divided out there. Folks think she's the mole, but that would break my heart, honestly.
Donna's a big lady. I don't think Boyd could carry Donna the way he was carrying that body.
No, but but that's one body, and they said more than lady. One. I think that's Ty. I
know. And
that's Kenny's mom.
Cry. If it's Donna, that's Kenny's mom. I will legit cry.
That's being, carried. But the way they talked today, and again, it's not a confirmed thing. I don't know. We'll see what actually happens in the show. But the way they were talking, man, makes me think we might see somebody like a Donna get taken out this season.
I will be crushed if it's Donna.
That's scary. I mean, of course, Fanny Pack Granny, she was already on chopping block. She was supposedly had cancer or something. Yeah. Supposedly. I don't know. She's pulling stuff out of that pack.
I'm definitely with you on it being Kenny's mom. I definitely think she's going to be one of the casualties. But as far as who's screaming in the barn, it's somebody younger. We can tell that it's definitely somebody younger, and I think we're looking at either a Christy, a Fatima, or a Julie. In that scene, and I know people have really been delving into like the show descriptions that have been put out on like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb. but they're already conflicting each other.
Yeah.
So you don't even know if that information that they put out for the descriptions of the episodes are even valid or right now. Like, we don't.
Yeah.
Because both.
But the only thing I know is that there are cows and they do die. And yes, there were cows in season 1. You see them back right when the barn boy, Sarah's brother, that's where he dies, that episode, I believe. He's like looking for her or something. Or she passes out. It's when she passes out and he goes to go check on her. You see the cows in the background behind him. So they had about 3 or 4 cows back there. And that is the only thing I'm pretty sure of, is that the cows died this season. At least one.
That's the only definitive thing we've got right now.
That's all I'm willing to hang my hat on. And even just then, I'm not sure if it was a dream or not, Dana. So I still don't know if it was actually the cows died or not.
Yes, and just like people are trying to figure out how many people are in the ambulance, why there's a police officer in the ambulance.
I don't know.
And
all kinds of things go through my mind.
I was trying to explain to people that now in the bigger cities, because of all, like, I know they said they figured out where this ambulance came from and everything like that, Knoxville, whatever, or Knox County or something. And I'm like, if there's sometimes in New York City right now, in an ambulance rig, once they go on call, there's a police officer that is with them, because unfortunately the ambulances are getting robbed. And if they have to go on a call with specific drugs on hand to possibly help certain people, a police officer now goes with them on these calls. So people are saying there could be a prisoner, there could be something. It could just be protocol that there's a police officer on that rig. That because in certain big cities, especially in New York City, like, it's protocol now to have a police officer on the rigs. And
well, I would think too, depending on if they have someone in there or not, it's possible for both reasons you said. It's for security purposes now, or they could have had someone on there. I mean, there's so many possibilities.
Another officer that was injured in the back,
and they were there, going with them, or
the
even just
on the rig,
a witness or somebody that they wanted to try to get information from, but they didn't know if they would make it the ride from to the hospital, so they kind of rode along with them. There's all kinds of reasons I think why an officer would be there.
There could be anywhere up to 5 people. There could be 2 EMTs, 1 officer, a patient, and a ride along. That's how many people would be able to typically fit in the rig. So there could be anywhere up to 5 people on that rig. One of them possibly being hurt. If one of them was a patient and they were being transported somewhere. So we could have 5 new characters strolling in one form or another. So we don't know. But just give me one second.
I'm going to read this real quick from Star. I like it. They no longer need Ken's mom. There's no food to cook. She is no longer valuable. They took her out. Oh my gosh, Star. That's a little bit truth there, though. Let's see what else we got. Their idea of favorite characters not the same as ours. Absolutely. Who are they going to take? I don't know. Let's see. Tai Chen is Carrie. Christy White Shoes is the wagon. And yeah, I can definitely see Christy in the wagon, the way the foot was mangled. It could be just the monsters tore it up, or it could have been or she stepped in the bear trap. Definitely see that as a possibility. I was Chocolate Beauty said I would be mad if it was Stale or Randall.
I am sorry, Nico was requiring my attention.
No worries. I'm just reading through the chat. Vic says if Christy and Chan go, Kenny's going to lose it. Yeah, that combo would definitely. I would understand why he is throwing stuff at the music box in the diner or the jukebox. They took Christy and his mama. Oh my God, that boy gonna lose his mind.
I'm curious. I'm looking at my cousin Terry. What do you think about the 3rd season? You've watched From with us. What do you think?
It looks intense.
Do you think it looks intense?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be good?
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be lit. As my son would say. As my 11-year-old son would say.
Oh, he's going to be so proud that you're using his lingo.
Try. I'm learning every day.
And that's all you can do.
No, I'm very excited.
Mom was actually, when I was showing her that little tidbit today, she was actually sitting at the table going, "Oh, what was that? What was that?" Like, I was like, breathe, Mom, breathe. So she can't wait to come on and talk on the radio, Scarlett.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have her on. She's going to tell us all about what she thinks. We're going to do that real soon. Now, let's see what else you guys are saying. And Rumbledore says Julie needs to go with her annoying ass shit, and probably Ethan too. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely all is on the chopping block, and I would say just about everyone is not safe except for maybe Boyd. He's about the
I could
only one.
tolerate the kids more than I could tolerate Jim. Please let it be Jim. I will be so okay if one of the people who dies this season is Jim and his man bun.
Have a good night, Doc. We will catch you later. Happy Friday. And we're going to wrap it up here soon, too, guys. We're probably going to go for about another, 15 minutes or so. Because I know Jeremy should be starting his live at around 10 Eastern, I believe. So we'll wrap it up here real soon.
Yes. But I know people, I've seen a lot of people saying Julie's annoying to that.
Oh, yeah. And he's not into Julie, and that's fine. She sounds like a real annoying kid. I felt bad for her, honestly, because she knew things that were going on with mom and dad. Mom and dad were kind of treating her like a child. Not just like a child, but like when Ethan was saying, Mom, Dad, Julie killed Nora. Nora. And she's just like, dude, I told you a story I was playing. Like,
And she looks at her
and he
brother
said
like
it like with a smile. Like he was whining in his tone, but he had a smile on his face while he was looking at his mom and daddy. I was like, he is so trolling her, and y'all are just gonna get on to her because she said a story. Get out of here with that. That's
I know.
I did not appreciate it. But she does whine a little bit, and she probably shouldn't have went to Colony House, but she learned a valuable lesson in that.
Yeah, but she was rebelling.
That's what I'm saying. And she learned, right? She learned real quick. She wanted to go back home to mommy and daddy.
Pretty much.
It was not as roses and green grass on the other side of that hill.
Nope.
The same monsters went there too, sweetie. Same nightmares.
Freedom's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Is it possible an ambulance was transporting a cop's Vic? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They could have been.
Yeah.
She could have been in there hurt, injured, a leg injury or something. Who knows?
She could have been with her partner that was being transported. Yeah, absolutely. Was BK saying, here's Leo's.
Hate Elio's untrustworthy, making EMT services more dangerous by their presence. Stop stealing from ambulances, you bums.
Yeah, it's really bad out here in New York City. They literally make fake calls just to get the ambulances to show up just so they can rob them. It's really bad out in the city.
Oh, yeah. You can hear the stories on the news. It does not look good.
So now on every call, they're escorted by police. That's why I'm saying there's a tangible reason why there could be a cop on that rig. Like not just a prisoner, not just depending on the city that they come from. If it's as bad as like New York City is right now, then yeah, there could just be a cop on that rig for safety purposes because a lot of the cities don't allow their EMTs to carry. And a lot of the EMTs don't want to become trained in carrying firearms. So I think in New York City, they're about to make it a choice for the EMTs, whether they want to go through the training and be an armed EMT person. But as of now, they're escorted by police everywhere.
And Kiwi says, oh yeah, ambulance could be empty. The cop and driver may be all there is.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We don't know. It could be 2. It could be 5. I'm just saying it could be up to 5 people possibly in that rig.
Yeah, it's definitely like any of those possibilities. Anywhere between 1, well, definitely probably 2, because I think we're pretty sure there's at least 2 people in there. But all of those possibilities are still on the table. I can't wait to see because the way they're showing it, I think that's going to happen earlier than I thought. Whatever happens with Boyd and this massacre thingy I think it's going to happen a little sooner than I thought. I thought it was going to happen really late in the season, but I don't know. They're having a lot of deaths this season, so it's hard to place it. maybe it's more mid-season than later, like end of season.
Yeah, I think they heard the fans' calls because a lot of fans were like, we didn't get a season where somebody was killed. And that kind of made almost seeming people too comfortable because it's such a scary place that it's not plausible for everybody to just survive the way they did. So I think this season they're just going to throw death at us. Like, you wanted it, here you go. Take it or leave it. And then the next season, people are going to be like, too many people died. So you're never going to be able to please everybody. But I do agree that we should have lost at least somebody else besides Tom in season 2. Like, Tom didn't tug on anybody's heartstrings per se. Like, here's the actual scary world of From. Like, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how far they're going to push us as fans with they kill off.
And Betray King says, bet the ambulance has Henry. He got T-boned pretty hard on his side. Maybe Tabitha's a ride along since she's his passenger.
Shut up, BK. I was so thinking that.
Definitely possible.
So thinking that after I saw today's trailer with that car crash. Get out of my head.
You know he watched it. You know they all seen it. I got to rewatch it a couple more times.
That's literally what I was thinking. And then he's going to be the connection that, oh, I was just with Tabitha and da-da-da-da-da and whatever. But I was so thinking that. Good call, PK.
And Kiwi says, I don't see Christy dying this season. She might, but I don't think so. Yeah, who knows? Especially with like the bear trap. It looked like she's the one that kind of got caught in it. So is it going to be somebody else that they find out there? Just one of the, who knows? But yeah, she definitely appears to get clipped. I don't know if it was 100% confirmed. I thought it was, but I don't. It's hard for me to say that on anything with this show, Dana, because I swear every time I think I've confirmed something, it gets debunked.
I know we honestly don't know, but that would be really a fucking great connection if it is Henry in that fucking in the rig. That would be freaking crazy.
And Kiwi says that's Kenny's mom in the church. You can see Kenny and Christy sitting front left. Also, the stuff on the altar is obvious. So yeah, I think it's pretty much. I think everybody's only somewhat consensus that she's not going to make it through the season, which is sad. She's definitely one of the sadder ones to see go. Because she's there for a lot of the characters. Even Kenny and Sarah. Like, I think she kind of came around a little bit with Sarah maybe, but like now she's kind of taken Ethan under the wing, but she's kind of been there for so many people, and it's just going to be real. I think it's going to break a lot. Yeah, definitely, because Kenny's going to break you with first and foremost, because that's his mom. He's already lost his dad here. Sort of his last ties to home. That's going to be and he's going to be absolutely devastated, I would assume. But just how many people, enjoyed things that she brought to the town and the meals that she prepared for them and everything. That's going to be that's definitely going to be so hurtful. And the fact that it's on, like y'all were saying, it's on the cuffs of the fact that they're on a food shortage. So they don't even, it's like the town doesn't need her anymore. And they're going to kill off more of their food supply in a sense. Yes, the cow may still be viable for meat, in a sense, depending on, if the monsters don't just completely just rip it to shreds or something. But that's still, they don't have the sustainability long term, because those cows were something that I think they were breeding. They were using to have milk and others. And so it wasn't just a meat source, I think. So it's definitely heartbreaking to see how that sort of line, the food, and then now Kenny's mom, like that's so heartbreaking.
I think this season is just going to be, from the moment it starts, we are just going to be glued to the episodes, and I have no idea where they're going to take us, but I'm very excited to see. Like I really, really am. And I think that we are definitely going to see deaths that are going to just break our hearts. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's because it's that type of place. Like you have to be realistic. If that was a real place, lead characters or not. That's why when people say Boyd has plot armor, I really don't think he does. Now, I don't think they would kill him off this season, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Boyd is safe as people like to say he is.
Yeah, no, I think down
If
the line
not,
he's not. I think he's still slightly a little more safe this season. I think that he's gonna make it through this season.
yes.
Now, after this season, I don't know how many people gonna make it. It might get a little. We think it's Harry now. It might get even hairier. You gonna have like 2 survivors. Be 1 survivor. Be Ethan. He's the only one left, and they restart. Dang it! They didn't succeed. Start over.
I know. So I'm just so waiting, and I
Mm-hmm.
hope we get more about Christopher.
Yes, and I'm curious because the only way, and guys, please in the chat let me know. The only way we know who Christopher is through Victor, right? I know the photograph, but Victor's the one that gives him his name. How
Yes.
do we know that's his actual name? What if Christopher's the name of the doll, and who we think is Christopher was Martin? Now, I don't really believe that, but I just throw that out there.
Up, Scarlett. Oh my God. You're making my brain hurt. Stop it.
I don't know. I'm throwing it out
Stop
there.
it.
Throw it out there in the
Stop
ether and
making
see
my
what
brain
happens
hurt.
with it. And
I hate
Betray
when you do
King
this to me.
says, does Kitty seek vengeance on the Matthews kids for opening the door, or do they not tell him either like Sarah until much later? Betray King, that is an awesome question. Will Kenny blame the kids? They opened the door for Granny.
Yes, but what if his mom already went outside at that point?
She could have.
Because she saw something that was going on, and holy shit, what we're here thinking that the monster could have thrown Tabitha's voice. We know that Kenny's father said the monsters were speaking Cantonese. They were speaking his language. What if they sounded like Kenny's mom, and that's why they opened the door?
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking Tabitha, but what if it was something with Tian Chen?
Mm-hmm.
Like they know she went outside, so they would be opening the door to let her back in, so to speak.
And so many, so yes, this I don't know. It's Kiwi, and Kiwi is very right. I feel a lot of the answers to everything is could be, right? It could be, very much so, could be, and we still know nothing. I agree, Kiwi. I don't know anything. Dang it, if I cannot, I'm speculating all over the place.
I know this speculating and this. I know. I swear, if I drank coffee, I'd probably be drinking 10 cups at this point.
Yeah. We will send it to you. Matter of fact, let's see if I can send it to you now. I sent it to you, didn't I, Dana?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Where did I send it to you at? Wait, did I? Where did I send that
to
you
at? But you just sent me it to the link like as if it was in the
that's
Discord.
right. Oh, that's right. So it's in the Discord, so I have to do this Discord link. Let me see if I can do that again for you. Kiwi, copy message link. We'll send it to Kiwi, and then you can find it. It was in. I originally found it in Jeremy's Discord, and then I went on Twitter finally today, and I saw some.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's something safe for us to play.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. It sounds like it came off of the MGM Plus. I thought.
Unless I share my screen and we just do a few pauses in between.
Hang on, let me. Where did Kiwi? I've lost Kiwi. I'll find her. There she is. Send this to her real quick, and there we go. That way. Wait, dang it! It didn't. That didn't work. Let me try again. Delete message. You know what? Can you send it to her?
I got it. I got
okay.
you. Hold on.
It was sending her to the message I sent you. It's not what I wanted it to do. Body says weird that the car crash happened in town, but the ambulance is on a back road. More mysteries. Vic says, I think they get in the crash and then Tabitha wakes up back in Fromville. That is definitely a possibility because we think she's coming back and how she's coming back, when she's coming back. I thought she was coming back in the daytime just off of her little vision that she had in, what was it, season 1? And I thought maybe everybody left the town because of the food shortage. That was back before we started getting a lot of this other stuff out. And just that food shortage, I just assumed they were, they showed a little bit of them going out to the woods. And so I'm thinking, oh, they found another little town. Maybe they were able to kind of relocate there for a little while when Tabitha sort of comes back. But now I'm not so sure. Like, I don't know when she's coming back. I would think she's coming back with Victor's dad. But I'm wondering if there's somebody else that we're missing, right? Because Victor's going to let us know some stuff. Who are we missing? I feel like we're missing somebody in the family or a friend. Something with Christopher. If he is indeed, his real name is Christopher.
I know people think that this guy might be Victor's. I think they're saying he's Victor's dad. I'm still on the fence with that. That he could be another sibling. He could be another like uncle. Mm-hmm. He can be so many other people. He doesn't necessarily have to be their dad.
That's true. Again, I'm not sure for a fact. I know they had some pictures up on the house that makes a very compelling argument. But again, they do like to mess with our heads. Just like they do people in the town. And again, how much of it is for us to mess with us and how much of it is actually, real?
It's just friggin' and like I said, it makes my brain hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It makes my brain hurt.
That's right. It says, I actually want to understand why the monsters are trying to break him mentally instead of killing him. I'm pretty sure they will explain from yesterday's trailer. Yes. They're definitely have been showing the sort of trying to mentally break people. And Boyd particularly, they've been trying to break him. And they're making that point in the trailer to kind of say, you won't break me, as far as he said that, last season? I think almost every season he's almost said something like, you won't break me, you won't stop me. Like, I'm not giving up. Can't win. But we'll see. We'll see where Boyd goes with this. I mean, I want to know where the dog takes him. I'm so excited for that first episode because where are we going to truly pick up off? Tabitha in the hospital? They said right where they left off, so that would be Tabitha. But then, she was out for 3 days, so does that mean we don't get... Is it just going to be like a quick flashback and Boyd kind of explains? They show a little flashback and Jade kind of does his little thing. Like, who is Jade going to go talking back to? Because Tabitha's not there anymore. So who is he going to go off with? Is he going to get back up with? It didn't look like... I don't know. Was he with... I'm trying to remember in this new stuff. Was he with the boys when they go out in the woods? Who was he particularly with in the woods? Jade, was he with what looks like possibly Christy?
Yeah, because I was thinking that the dog's going to lead Boyd to that big statue, that big red whatever, if it's a big talisman, whatever Jade is touching. Boyd is going to go into the bar and he's going to hear Jade talking to somebody. And they're going to connect on the fact that they both are seeing people with whoever it is that they are seeing. Then Boyd is going to see like his symbol, see what he's kind of doing. And he's going to be like, I kind of saw that symbol on this rock out there. And Jade's going to be like, okay, like bring me to it. Now, how Christy ends up there, I'm not too sure. But I think Boyd brings Jade to that big rock. After the dog brings him to it first. But that's just my thought.
Definitely. Listening to you now, I'm trying to read up on, see what you guys are saying as well, because so much.
I know.
So much stuff. And I'm telling you, man, I love so much of the theory crafting that this show sort of sparks in people, because honestly, even like that, I go down the rabbit hole and I'm going down it knowing that I'm probably wrong, but it's still so fun. it's still so much fun. I'm like, this is gonna go nowhere, but you know what? We're doing it today.
I'm so fucking
I swear to
wrong.
God, if I found one symbol or one word, I'm like, all
That's
right,
what he
we'll see where
said.
this
Like,
takes
if
me.
I get one thing right, that's all I need. I don't care about anything else.
Tell you, Jay, man, I'm just trying to find the two. I got all these pieces. I just need one to connect.
Yeah,
At
just
least
one.
I have a starting point.
Just one, so I can say, I got that.
I just
got
need a
that.
starting point just for funsies. So we might have at least. I want to know if I'm at least on the target a little bit, or if I'm just like throwing my darts all the way outside in a different barn somewhere.
Like Jade, just fucking tossing shit. Who cares? I'm so ready. I'm ready to be wrong. Like I am.
And I can't wait because I can't wait to see what the true mystery is. Like, because I know it ain't gonna be what I'm thinking. So I'm like, man, what in the hell is this shit?
Yes,
you're going wild
Vic.
with it.
Vic says, right, I'm wrong 99% of the time. Yup. I sure am.
And yes, we are fixing to close it down ourselves, guys. Again, thank you all for hanging with us. I'm going to play a little clip before we go, kind of wrap it up. Let's see, which one should I do? And yes, I love Jade, so let's see. Where is the good one for Jade that I had? I think it's actually what you're talking about right now. Yeah, I think this is it. I think it's the one where he's throwing darts. Let's see.
The immediate question is, how do we get home, right? How do we get out? How do we get out of here? Because unless we know where here is, we can't get out of here. It's like this. It's like hitting a bullseye with your eyes closed, right? You're just throwing them blind. You don't even fucking know where the fucking target is. Maybe it's over here. I don't know. Maybe it's just like with that one.
Whoa.
Throwing it.
Come on. Settle down.
Eventually, you just get tired. You give up. You accept that you can't just get out because you have no fucking idea where you're trying to get out. So you just sit around drinking your acidic potato piss water that you call vodka.
Yes, that is what we're doing, sitting around here trying to figure it all out. But again, thank you guys all for hanging with us. And again, hope you all had an awesome time and an awesome Friday. And yes, go check out Jeremy's. He should, if he is not already, he should be going live any minute, where the conversation of From will continue. The tinfoil hats are not going off. We will probably be going over there also after this, at least go hang out in the chat with you guys. And just keep it going, because I mean, it's just the theories never end with this show.
Yes, it doesn't. It does not. I'm so excited. I
am too. I cannot wait to see where we go from here. And again, there's so much information. I won't go. I'm ready to watch that trailer again because I've still got to pick that apart now. They just keep giving us stuff, Dana. Oh, it's so much yet. I have so many questions.
I know that trailer just. Like changed everything.
It did. But until next time, guys, we will see you all in Jeremy's, or we will see you all in the next one, and tomorrow night as well over at Dana's. We will be getting back into D&D. We're starting to get back into the swing of things.
Yes.
So hopefully we will get to go battle some stuff, buy some stuff, just all around fun with some D&D stuff this weekend.
Yes.
And then who knows, I'm going to try to set some stuff up for this week so that we can try to really catch back up with what they have for season 3 and just get back into From. I mean, the tinfoil hat's on now, Dana.
I know. That's it.
Down the rabbit hole we go. No, we're not coming back up for a long time because I think you can't come back, right? Did you see the tree? We stuck.
I know. That's it. It's a wrap.
That's it. We here. But yeah, guys. Thanks again, Dana, and we will see you guys later. Have an awesome weekend. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Paint me a scene, steady in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you? I could give you everything. 1, 2, 3, and my heart is racing. Can't fall asleep, I got my mind in a throw. Weightless, floating through the day. Trust that I'll be okay. I'm happy alone, but I let it go. Waiting for you. Wait until Ooh.